Learn more about how to increase your power and performance at houseproducts.com. If you're a trucking industry professional, then you need to stay on top of changing regulations, equipment upgrades, and technology advancements. Fleet Owner Magazine gives you all of this and more. Written for fleet executives and managers, Fleet Owner gives you the business intelligence on operations, vehicle maintenance, regulations, and information technology you need to stay ahead. But that's not all. With its monthly print publication, daily and weekly email newsletters, and a website updated several times a day, Fleet Owner has all the latest news and information delivered to you when you want it and where you want it. From industry experts to award-winning writers and columnists, Fleet Owner is the #1 source for trucking information in North America. Remember to visit fleetowner.com every day for the latest industry news. You can also sign up to receive Newsline, their free email newsletter, and subscribe to Fleet Owner Magazine. Visit fleetowner.com. Fleet Owner, for news you can use.
The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund invites all over-the-road Class A CDL holders to join our smoking cessation program, Rigs Without Cigs. Participants receive tools to assist in quitting, along with support and accountability from the program manager and others in the program. Incentive packages are offered by the Road Pro family of brands for all who stopped using tobacco through the Rigs Without Cigs program. Go to truckersfund.org under the Health and Wellness tab and sign up for Rigs Without Cigs.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell joined 14 other Republicans and Minority Leader joined 14 other Republicans and 50 Democrats last night to pass a bipartisan gun control bill.
I think it's a significant step in the right direction.
Connecticut Democrat Chris Murphy.
This will become the most significant piece of anti-gun
violence
legislation Congress has passed in 3 decades.
Correspondent Jennifer Kuiper on just what it does.
The $13 billion measure includes tougher background checks for the youngest buyers, keeping guns from more domestic violence offenders, and helping states put in place red flag laws, making it easier for authorities to take weapons from people deemed dangerous.
Speaker Pelosi says the House will vote on the bill today. Several states are scrambling to rework concealed carry laws after the Supreme Court struck down New York's rule requiring permits for gun owners. Mayor Eric Adams.
This decision has made every single one of us less safe.
It wasn't that safe to begin with.
Decisions today. A ruling is expected soon on Roe v.
What an
Wade.
idiot.
3 former Justice Department officials testified at yesterday's January 6th hearing.
They must didn't see all the shootings lately. We ain't safe now.
The 2020
We'd
election
probably be a little more safer.
House Select Committee
We'd probably be a little more safer with a peace in a fight.
To win at
Although
all
I-
costs, with no regard
That
for the
concerns
will of the American people.
One former Trump aide claimed several Republican congressmen reached out to request pardons from Mr. Trump. Temperatures in the low 100s are still blanketing parts of the southeast. Morgan Flowers says it's slowing down the cows at the creamery she runs in Nashville.
Each herd is producing less milk, so we have less to actually produce food products out of.
12 states passed the 100-degree mark on a single day this week. Police in Southern California say a 2-year-old girl is being treated for injuries after she was attacked by a coyote at a park in Fountain Valley.
It always
Local
gets
wildlife
hot
officials are looking
in the
for
summertime.
plan to euthanize it.
That's why
The
we call it
surprise #1
summer.
NBA draft pick is ready to work his magic.
He says he had no clue that he'd be the top pick until just before Commissioner Adam Silver announced it on ESPN.
Paolo Banchero from Duke University.
I've never cried tears of joy in my life, and it just hit me.
The 6'10" forward led Duke to the Final Four, and he says he hopes to bring a winning mindset to the Magic.
Versatility on offense and defense end, competitiveness, team mindset. Never gonna put myself before the team.
Peter King, CBS News.
Well, that's good.
S&P futures up 28. Dow futures ahead 199. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. If you got it today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rates granted for 12 months only. Offer cost of commission conditions 8 months. 1256 and less for access. Not open 330 call 800 for disclosures and cost information.
Was your business hurt in the years of the pandemic? Have you had a serious decline in revenue since 2019? Was your business partly or fully shut down by the government? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you may be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. How? By taking advantage of the Employer Retention Tax Credit, a fully funded tax credit created to help businesses during these difficult times. The experts at ERTC Rebate Masters are ready to help you get the money you're owed. Call 844-333-ERTC or 844-333-3782.
Amazon's offering something spooky.
Okay, so not literally raising grandma from the dead, but it is debuting a new Alexa feature that'll help you hear from the dead. Amazon announced it at its annual Mars conference and didn't describe it as morbid, more like
enables lasting personal relationships.
They even had a kid test it.
Alexa, can grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay, but how about my courage?
But what's soothing for some is creepy for others. Critics joking on social media, sci-fi show Black Mirror warned us about this. Still no word, though, on when or even if Amazon will make this new feature available to consumers. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Inflation's jacking up the cost of 4th of July celebrations. Supply chain and shipping problems that started during the pandemic have led to higher prices on fireworks, especially from products overseas. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love.
So you can,
with no subscriptions and no monthly fees.
okay, so the KKK can burn their signs.
This bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message
Where's the people talk and start shooting?
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbsford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
1440.
Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples offers tech solutions and accessories for learners, small business, and remote workers, too. Right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Offer ends $625 while supplies last. Limit 2. Explore the latest tech solutions at Staples, the working and learning store.
Another really hot day on the way today. Temperatures up around 101 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, and there will be a few isolated showers and storms, especially east of I-65 and south of I-85 later this afternoon into this evening. Otherwise, just very hot. Wouldn't worry about evening plans. Just keep in mind an isolated shower storm is possible. Better chance of showers and storms Saturday, a 50% chance. Highs as a result, 97, 96 on Sunday with a few isolated showers and storms. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Got a couple of things going on, so please use caution. 500 block of West Fairview Avenue, an accident with injury, and Troy Highway northbound mile marker 98. Be careful in both of those areas. Outside of that, we're looking good. Interstate system moving smoothly. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. No money down and your good credit. Get you any vehicle on the lot at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. Cars, trucks, SUVs, it's all in Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Why are you driving around town on those old bald tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday. A child was shot and killed in Montgomery Wednesday night. Now Montgomery police have identified the victim. MPD says 12-year-old Nelson Harris was shot on Cherry Street near Ann Street, and another person, a woman, was injured. Montgomery police are conducting a homicide investigation. An Alabama state senator is working on a bill that will place cameras in special education classrooms across the state. This push comes from Kimberly McFadden, a mother of 6 from Madison, who recently took her concerns to Senator Orr. Orr said he believes the cameras would protect students and teachers in Alabama. Other states like Texas and Louisiana already have similar laws in place. In sports news this morning, Auburn basketball star Jabari Smith goes number 3 overall in the 2022 NBA draft to the Houston Rockets. Smith, now the highest drafted player in AU basketball history. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
$49 down delivers. Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, Matt Parsley here with Budget Car and Truck Sales. That's right, $49 down delivers. Shop over 300 late model, life new cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, convertibles, sports cars, America's finest, starting with prices of $6,900. And $49 down delivers. Yep, think your credit report's a little messy? Been told no in the past? Bankruptcy, medical bills, or even a foreclosure. Budget treats everyone with privacy and respect for all credit situations. I work with the banks and the lenders that understand your past and know you're more than just a number. You're number one to me. This special relationship allows us 100% credit approval gold. That's right, 100% credit approval gold. Get absolute top dollar for your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. No trade-in required. Oh, did I say $49 down delivers? Budget Car and Truck Sales, 61 Mendale Parkway, Montgomery, or 508 McQueen Smith Road, Prattville. BuyBudgetOnline.com. That's BuyBudgetOnline.com.
Check these out.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Place with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Food additives can harm children's development and raise the risk of obesity. To lower the risks, choose fresh fruits and vegetables when you can and avoid processed meats. Don't put plastic in the microwave because heat pool has chemicals to leak into your food. When cooking or serving hot foods, use glass or ceramic dishes. For more on keeping your child healthy, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
And here we go.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wait. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day that you're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. You made it. Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. First thing you should say this morning is thank God for this day, because it certainly was not promised. It is time for our daily bread. It is June the 24th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled The Message of the Cross. And our scriptural insight today comes from 1 Corinthians 1:18 through 25. Corinthians 1:18 says, the message of the cross is the power of God. Govern yourselves accordingly. A word from on high, something to help change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. And again, it is June the 24th, 2022 AD. It is a day like all the others that has never been. And it is a day like all the others that will never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you ought to do today that you don't. And you don't get a chance to come back and do the things that you should have done. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. And once it's gone, you don't get to summon it from the past. So do the right thing. If you have lived a while, you have seen, you have heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do about it? What you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, when you can, reach back and give somebody else a helping hand. While you can, for as long as you can, until you can't. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I said that's the standard by which you live life. You shall always be successful. Or you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But you will never be a failure until you quit. If the mountain's too high, go around it. If it's too wide, go over it. If it's too deep, go under it. And when all else fails, sometimes you got to go through the mountain. And remember this, even when it's raining, the sun is just beyond the clouds. Wait a minute, because here it comes. Good morning, G. Montgomery. The message of the cross. That's our daily bread for the day, and it's a great day to be alive.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading titled, The Message of the Cross, was written by Allison Kita. John was raised with, in his words, no God, no religion, nothing. In 1989, seeking democracy and freedom for his people, he helped lead students in peaceful protests. But the protests tragically led to the government's intervention and hundreds of lives lost. For his part in the event, Jong was placed on this country's most wanted list. After a short imprisonment, he fled to an outlying village where he met an elderly farmer who introduced him to Christianity. She had only a handwritten copy of the Gospel of John but couldn't read, so she asked Jong to read it to her. As he did, she explained it to him, and a year later, he became a believer in Jesus. Through all he endured, Jong sees that God was powerfully leading him to the cross, where he experienced firsthand what the Apostle Paul states in 1 Corinthians. The message of the cross is the power of God. What many considered foolishness, a weakness, became Jong's strength. For some of us, this too was our thinking before we came to Christ. But through the Spirit, we felt the power and wisdom of God breaking into our lives and leading us to Christ. Today, Jong serves as a pastor, spreading the truth of the cross to all who will hear. Jesus has the power to change even the hardest of hearts. Who needs his powerful touch today? Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 18 through 25. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise person? Where is the teacher of the law? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God the world through its wisdom did not know him, God was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. Jews demand signs, and Greeks look for wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. To those whom God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Let's pray. Dear Jesus, we would be so lost without you. We thank you for seeking us out wherever we were and for leading us to you through the cross. Please help us to live for you faithfully and to spread the good news to others in our lives who need to know you too. Thank you, Lord. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Rochelle Traub, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well,
Court. Oh, Tid. Who? Airborne.
here we go. All the way.
Gotta be rough and tough.
Rough and tough. Airborne. All the way.
Every day we run
To the sun.
No sweat.
Not yet. Down in the mess hall on my knees. Yes, it's Friday morning. Yes. Get motivated.
The bread was molded and the meat was bad.
The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. You know darn well that you can't eat that.
Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way, gotta be
rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, easing a breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight.
all the way airborne, all the way driving on.
Say it again.
All the way airborne.
One more time.
On, driving on. Early one more.
In the drizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go.
Green light lead with the chilling glow.
Ho!
Airborne, all the way driving on.
Say it one more time. Here we go.
All the way.
Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. Hey. No PT today. None. Okay. So now we're going to do some other things today because it's Friday. We don't do PT on Friday. Plus, it's like a holiday weekend. Oh, no, this ain't a holiday week. Okay. That's next week. Okay. I thought we'd get another holiday real quickly here. Anyway, so now let us pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, and Space Force, and of course, Montgomery Police Department. Thank the police chief for showing up yesterday. We appreciate it. Enjoyed my time with him. I mean, I don't mind seeing the police chief as long as he can get the keys to the shell in his hand. We're good. Anyway, so now, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force, let us pay homage. And good morning, Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. After all, this is an Air Force 10. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. The United States Marine Corps, whose motto is Semper Fidelis. But the Marines have a hard time with all those syllables, so we just cut it short, Semper Fi. But whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. Always, always faithful. And last, but certainly not least, the United States Army. Some people say that the ain't ready to be a Marine yet. Well, I don't know about that. I landed on some Marines one time down Coronado. Yeah. Yeah, they were asleep while we were coming from the sky, baby. Oh, yeah. Yep, there they were, sleeping with the sound of the ocean. And here we are. Here we are, coming from the sky. Yeah. And then if that'd been a real situation, yeah, they'd have been toast. But that's okay. I still like it. I mean, after all, I got to get me a set of those dress blues some kind of way. Anybody want to hear that story one more time? I said I'm only going to tell it one more time, then I'll be done with it. Because the Marine Corps has sort of like disappointed me. Okay, I just tell you. Okay, 40 years off, I live and nothing happens. I'm going to tell you this story one more time. Okay, why they owe me an honorary Marine Corps shipment. All right, and I understand that 50/50 at the been moved to the 7th floor at the rehab place over there on Hull. I think that's Hull Street. So you get a chance to go by and see him. Check him out. Now, what else? Oh, what else I got to say to you guys this morning? All right, let's see. I said good morning to the mayor. I didn't know. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, Chief. DA Dale Abbott. That's his name. See, I remember now by acronyms. DA Dale Abbott. I couldn't even think the guy's name yesterday. I felt so embarrassed. Okay, not really. I just, just didn't feel embarrassed. I just couldn't think of it. All right. Now, that's a good sign, because if you know the police chief personally, then you probably got a problem. See, I didn't know him. I just met him one time, and we kept on moving. All right. So, but I did like what he said. To be tough on crime, but kind to the community. And I just got to tell you, I like that, because you got to be kind to the community, but you got to put a boot in everybody else's butt sometimes, because they don't do that, because they are employing. Now let's see how this is working out. We are going to employ the 21st century methodology of policing. Now I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, it does sound good. It does sound good. It does. It makes your brother want to get all warm and comfy. Okay. But the problem with that methodology is that the crooks are still using Century 1 methods, okay, they're still stealing, they're still robbing, still killing people, still doing all the things that they were doing in the first century, whenever that first century was, AD. Okay, a first century AD, we'll put AD. So we don't really know, what that means. I mean, nobody wants to go to jail. Even when they're wrong, they don't want to go to jail. So what methodology is there in place to make them want to go to jail? I don't know, but it's got something to do with the 21st century, I think. Me, I'm pretty good with the 20th century and the 19th century methods. Okay, not all of them. Not all of them. Okay, I'm good. I mean, we need to modify some of those, But I ain't got a problem. I don't have a problem with the phone book. Okay, like rapping to get answered. Okay, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I ain't talking. Bam. See, that's good with me. That's why I'm not on the. That's why I'm not on the police. Because I believe in putting the phone book on them. Oh yeah. So that's why I've never been a policeman, because I believe you need to open up a can of whoop booty on people sometime to get them to talk, especially bad guys. Especially bad guys. Anyway, let me take a break, and we'll be back with our audio presentation today. No sense calling, folks. You can't take no calls at the moment. But if I got a little time left at the end of the hour, we'll take a call. Okay. So let's take a break, and we'll come back. Okay. Somebody told me I shouldn't play millennials anymore this week. Okay. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play something mellow. Okay. Mellow so that we can, because it's Friday, and I'm not being too serious today about anything. Okay. I won't. I'll just have to. I'll just have to be mellow today. Today is Mellow Friday, okay? That's what it is. So I'll be back, hopefully, in a few minutes to mellow out.
And we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song that we love to sing. Every time.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay
in
for
love
what you need.
together.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Another really hot day on the way today. Temperatures up around 101 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, and there will be a few isolated showers and storms, especially east of I-65 and south of I-85 later this afternoon into this evening. Otherwise, just very hot. I wouldn't worry about evening plans. Just keep in mind an isolated shower storm is possible. Better chance of showers and storms Saturday, a 50% chance. Highs as a result, 97, 96 on Sunday with a few isolated showers and storms.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Sabry for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Got a couple of things going on, so please use caution. 500 block of West Fairview Avenue, the accident with injury, and Troy Highway northbound mile marker 98. Be careful in both of those areas. Outside of that, we're looking good. Interstate system is moving smoothly. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. No money down in your good credit. Get you any vehicle on the lot at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. Cars, trucks, SUVs, it's all at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is major delay.
Why are you driving around town on old bald tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
While the world of fighting games is getting back on their feet in esports, they've been missing one thing: their king. All of that changed this week as Capcom showed off the first gameplay of Street Fighter VI. The previous title had a rough launch, and even after it stabilized, the game never reached its full potential in esports. This title appears to be fixing that, as the open world design and touched-up gameplay has players eager to see Street Fighter back on the throne in 2023.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey Dad, cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of themed weekends, celebration, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
Being here with Just Blinds in Prattville, your trusted source for all things quality and beauty when it comes to window treatments for your home. Well, no question, the summertime heat has arrived in full force. Let us at Just Blinds help you not only cool down your home and your outdoor living space, we'll also help you save money on those cooling bills. How do we do that? Easy. With the latest in energy-efficient shades and blinds, complete with a range of options for motorization and automation. Visit our Just Blinds showroom in Prattville or online at gojustblinds.com. And stay cool, everyone.
Declare your freedom and start your journey. Jeep Freedom Days are here at Taliesin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Your journey will be better in the all-new Grand Wagoneer. Yours is here now. Get more done with the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn with 0% financing for 60 months. And right now, your trade-in is worth more than ever. TaliesinAutomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit, must finance through Chrysler Capital. Dealer retains all factory incentives. See dealer for details.
Almost 3 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the world's only nose cleaner that helps flush out airborne germs with powered suction. But what do doctors have to say about Navage? Here's Dr. Tonya Farmer, a board-certified ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Let me see.
Most airborne allergens and viruses enter through your nose. When that happens, it can cause congestion and irritation, and that just makes you feel miserable. You can get a cold, you can get flu, sinus infections, or even worse. Flushing your nose with a saline solution is the most effective way to flush all of those dangerous threats out of your nose. So now when patients come in my office, I tell them I highly recommend that you use Navage on a daily basis for overall good health and wellness.
And Navage is all natural and drug-free at Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Don't you know? Okay, we're back. We're ready to go. Hey, first of all, let me tell you, one of our sponsors of our show, I will welcome into the family. Well, they've been here a couple of days now, but we should have. This is the official welcome to JL Lane Truck and Auto. JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. You want to look at the inventory. You need a car? You got an online inventory. You can check it out before you even go. All the cars have been cleaned and cleared of all known issues, and all these cars have passed a rigorous inspection process, so you don't have to worry about going off the lot, turning back around, have to go back on the lot. No, these are great cars. Not only that, if your credit's a little messed up, they got buy here, pay here, so don't worry about it. Okay, 208 Gun Road, or you give them a call, 272-4313. Tell them you heard about them on the radio. They may even give you throw a little extra. I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I'm applying the pressure here. Say, I heard about you guys on the radio, and I come over here to get me a car because I want to turn in my heels and get some wheels. All right. Anyway, call Steve 272-4313. But I love the part that you can buy here, you can pay there, buy there, and pay there. You don't have to worry about going through all these big rigorous things with all these big time credit unions and stuff like that. Okay, I'm just saying. And if they don't have it, ask Steve if he can get you one. Okay, I'm just saying, you might want to do that. JL Lane Truck and Auto, 208 Gun Road. One of our newest sponsors. We appreciate it. Somebody got to feed the kids. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. All right then. Let's take my where's my thing here? Okay, wait. Kids, cancel this one right here before we get to the lessons of life and things that way. We have a little thing. I forgot the name of it. I don't even know who this is. I think this is TD Jakes. TD Jakes is one. You know, I think when I get done with the radio, I'm just going to be a motivation speaker. You know, motivate people. You know, just try to get them to change their perspective on many things. I don't know. I'll check that out. Depending on how many years I got left, if any. So let's listen to this, and we'll be right back after this with the lessons of life.
Discouragement can creep in secretly, hide behind clothes, makeup, hairdos. Discouragement is so bold that it will even hide behind a smile and tell you life is not worth living. If you listen at discouragement, it will cause you to make bad decisions. It will cause you to think that life is not worth living. And secretly, behind the facade of a smile and a good morning and a praise the Lord and a how are you, you will wonder if you're ever going to get out of what you're into. There are moments that try the human soul so violently and so perplexing that if the truth were told, all of us have had moments that we wanted to throw up our hands and walk away. Don't make a permanent decision over a temporary circumstance. He says, don't allow a moment of agony to make you draw a conclusion about life prematurely. You can't get to the destination just because you want it, just because you saw it, just because you like it, just because you need it. In fact, we are often tormented by vision. If you don't like where you're at, don't worry about it. It's just a step. You don't like how you feel right now? Stop crying. It's just a step. Don't deviate. Don't procrastinate. Don't become frustrated. All you have to do to win this battle is stay on track. You can't judge your life by where you are in this moment. Do you not know that where you are will pass? What you're worried about will pass? Don't you understand that one day you're going to look back and laugh at the thing that kept you up all night? Don't you understand that it's not nearly as major as you thought it was? You can live without your house. You can live without your car. You can live without your friend. You can live without your husband. You can live without your wife. I measure the value of a man by how hard he presses. That's how you can determine who you're fighting. By how hard they press. How hard you press tells me how hard you hit. You can be all big and muscle bound and still not have no force behind your punch. Force, kinetic energy, energy in motion. You can't have energy sitting. Energy is measured by motion. That's why the devil wants you to sit down, and shut up, and feel sorry for yourself. You ought to blow the devil's mind this morning. Just when you think he got you down, you ought to shock him and press. You better not start crying on the steps. You better not give up on the steps. You better not collapse on the steps. They will find you on the steps. If you lay down, they'll run over top of you on the steps. I don't care whether it's sunshine or rain, pleasure or pain. When you get up in the morning, put your pants on and press.
CD says, I'll measure a man by how hard he presses, how hard he hits. What good is muscle if you don't use it? Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. How hard to press. Wow. Anyway, that's motivating. That's motivating to me, too. You know, so you guys need to think about this when you get one of those ruts, you know, because I get in them ruts. I know you can't tell it because I'm a professional. Okay. So, but I get in those ruts sometimes, you know, things just because I'm always happy. I don't know why I think it's an illness. I'm always happy, but there are moments. So I got like everybody else. Everybody's got moments like that when things just don't seem to go your way. But again, you got two choices. You can quit and nothing else happens. There's one guarantee when you quit, that whatever you were searching for, whatever you were trying to do, won't happen. But sometimes if you just keep on, like TD said, you keep on pressing, you keep on moving, you keep doing what you got to do, and something is going to happen. As a matter of fact, there's an old saying called push, P-U-S-H. Pray until something happens. And something will. Don't know what, but that's not within my purview. But something will happen, okay? And somebody said, if you're going to worry, don't pray. If you're going to pray, don't worry. I know, it's easy to say. It's easy to say sometimes, but I mean, we just mess everything up anyway. So why not just do what the man says do, okay? All righty then. Now it is time for my other stuff here this morning. Where's my other thing in here? Okay, hold on. All right, there's something in this room that's making me sneeze. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Okay, where's my lessons of life thing? Anybody see that? Anybody see that lately? I know it's somewhere. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, there it is right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's find what we're looking for. There we go. All right, there we go. I mean, I gotta find it. Can't read it if I can't find it, right? Okay, I'm just saying. There we go. There we go. Now I got it. All right, then. Good morning to you. Today is the 24th day of June. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. So just remember that as you traverse the highways and the byways of life today. Do what you got to do today because tomorrow may never get here. Now, first of all, we got word of the day. It is my way of helping you tell people where to get off without making them mad. Okay? Without making them mad. Right? So, or at least not making them know what you just said. I mean, you know, you can call people stupid in such a way that they smile. You know, so it is my intention on showing you guys how to do that, you know, without, you know, ticking everybody off. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, then now let me see. Why is my thingamajigger there not doing what it's supposed to be doing? I don't know what's going on with this thing right now. Okay, so my thingamajigger. I don't know what's wrong with my sound thing here. Okay, so maybe it's okay, well, maybe just one of those things. All right, then. So let us talk about the lessons of life. First of all, the first thing is the word of the day. The word of the day is my attempt to help you become a word master like me. Okay, a word master. I think that's not the word. A wordsmith. That's the word I'm looking for. A wordsmith. Okay. because my vocabulary is so extensive until sometimes I got to remind myself I know these words. All right, then. Now, the word of the day is VERATE. Now, some of us get paid to do this, okay? Some of us don't. Some of us are experts at this. It is called berate. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means to scold or condemn vehemently. I know that's a tough word. I'll tell you what that word means later next week. Vehemently and at length. In other words, it's when we unleash unmerciless scolding on you. You know, like your parents used to do when you really did something messed up. I mean, they just got on you, said, I should have traded you in at the hospital. I should have left you there. Okay, I heard that a couple times coming up. Okay, now that still hurt my feelings, but maybe what I did kind of hurt her feelings. So I guess it's one of those things. That was payback. Anyway, so the word of the day is berate. Okay, so now unless you really got a reason to do it, you know, can we hold off on that one for a little while? Okay, let's, because you know, if you really think about it, we all have done something, and we all have been buttholes in life. Unfortunately, we don't remember those times, but we have. We've been butts. Okay, we're not, you know, I used to think that I was a really nice guy until I turned on the mirror of my life. And then there were some times, not very many, but there were some times that I was, you know, I wasn't a very nice guy, you know. But I got an excuse. I was short. So short people have to be tougher than everybody else. Okay, I'm just saying. You ever go to the store? You ever see anything down on the floor? No. Where's it at? It's on a high shelf. Okay, we always got to be tough. Okay, think about this. You go out with a tall girl, nobody even notice the girl. They notice how short you are. But when a girl goes out with a tall guy, then they notice her. They don't notice you. I'm just saying, short people catch hell. Remember that song, Short People Got Nobody? Okay, well, that's the truth there. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's get on something else. Now, what is the lesson of life today? Okay, now you gotta remember this one, because this is important, because it's life. All right, and here we go. Sometimes we must fight in life for the things we believe in. It does not matter sometimes who believes in you, as long as you believe in you. You cannot convince people to believe in you if you don't believe in you. Okay? And have that battle, because when you go into like let's say you're looking for a job, you're going for a job interview. And if you walk in there all ready to apologize, okay, then you're done. But you need to walk in there with a sense of what's the word I'm looking for here? Of confidence and a certain air about yourself, not arrogance, because arrogance will get you thrown out. See, you have to learn. See, okay, you got to be like me. You have to learn how to have a sense of confidence, yet and still tempered with humility. See, because people don't like you if they think you're smarter than they are. Okay, especially if they're the one doing the interviewing. Okay, so they don't want to do that. So don't show all your stuff before you get the job. Get the job, then begin to show your stuff. That way you'll have his job in no time at all. But you got to get in there first. So humility, I know it's a hard one. It's a tough one. Okay, but we got to use that every once in a while. Okay, be humble. I know, me too. Today is June the 24th. It is the 175th day of this year. Believe it or not, there's only 190 days left. On June the 24th, 1948, communist forces cut off all land and water routes between West Germany and West Berlin, prompting the Western Allies to organize the Berlin airlift. 1497, this is what they say. I don't know, wasn't here, didn't have no YouTube, didn't have any recorders, didn't have any of that stuff. At least I don't think they did. They could have had some. I don't know. The first recorded sighting in North America by a European took place as explorer John Cabot spotted land, probably in present-day Canada. Again, I said we don't really know. And you know one of the most things that get me? How did we come up with the land the borders of states. Because back in the day, they didn't know where the border was. So we didn't have no airplanes where we could go up and say, okay, let's make Indiana look like a boot. I mean, come on, man. Let's make Texas look like a star. I mean, who came up with these? And how do you, I mean, I don't know. I'm all flabbergasted on that. 1807, a grand jury in Richmond, Virginia indicted former Vice President Aaron Burr on charges of treason and high misdemeanor. He was later, of course, acquitted. In 1880, O Canada, the future Canadian national anthem, was first performed in Quebec City. I don't know why that's important, but okay. 1940, France signed an armistice with Italy during World War II. 1947, on this day, okay, what's regarded as the first modern UFO sighting took place at a private pilot, Kenneth Arnold, this is 1947, an Idaho businessman reported seeing 9 silvery objects flying in a weaving formation near Mount Rainier in Washington. I think I've seen those too, because when I was up there, you know, I was looking at the mountain one time, Mount Rainier, when I was up there looking at the beauty and the splendor of that mountain. I think I saw those same things. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and reflect upon my mind and see whether or not there was really UFOs or not. But now that we bring this up, you know, it could have been. But I'm glad I didn't go to the first or anybody tell them I saw those things. They probably would have sent me to the hospital. Okay, so I'm glad I just kept it to myself. 1957, the U.S. Supreme Court in Roth versus the United States ruled in a 6-3 ruling that obscene materials were not protected by the First Amendment. Now, see, I don't understand that one, because we have protected speech, and you can do all kinds of things. I mean, if abortion was considered privacy and a right, then why can't I look at obscene material? I mean, to me, I don't know. I mean, what's obscene to one guy is not necessarily obscene to another guy. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe it is. 1964, AT&T inaugurated commercial picture phone service between New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. The service, however, never caught on. Well, we took it back up in the 2000s. We got it working now, AT&T, so don't worry about it. 1973, President Richard Nixon concluded his summit with the visiting leader of the Soviet Union, Leonid Brezhnev, who held the talks as an address on American television. You know, anybody ever heard of Nikita Khrushchev? Anybody? Okay, they don't teach that in school, but don't worry about it. Okay. Well, Nikita Khrushchev took off his shoes when he was in the United Nations one day and called Americans a bunch of useful idiots. I gotta tell you, there are some that fit that category. 1983, the Space Shuttle Challenger, carrying America's first woman in space, Sally K. Ride, coasted to a safe landing at Edwards Air Force Base in California. California, IA. 1992, on this date, the Supreme Court, in a 5-4 decision, strengthened its 30-year ban on officially sponsored worship in public schools, prohibiting prayer as a part of graduation ceremonies. See, that's why I can't understand it. The Constitution said the government should not establish or prohibit religion. So, isn't that what they're doing? Okay, never mind. You know, the law is whatever anybody that's judging it at that moment says it is. And until somebody else brings it up, it'll stay that way. Okay? Like Justice Taney said that the black folks would never be citizens of the United States of America. Now that may be a little truth. I mean, there may be some, that's okay. I consider myself a citizen, so, but that's what he said. And the Supreme Court, till this day, has never recanted that statement by Judge Taney. Never. I'm just saying, maybe there's something to that. In 2008, women in Saudi Arabia had the ability to drive a car for the first time as the world's last remaining ban on female drivers were lifted. Okay. How did that work out for us? Okay. Actually, I must admit, there's probably more men that have a whole lot more accidents than women. Women just get emotional. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right, that's it for this hour. We'll come back. Got a guest coming up with me. I'm gonna just let him do his own thing. You know, own thing. Okay. So we'll be back. And this is News Radio 1440 on your AM dial, right here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
I know my perspective on things is a little weird.
You don't know if you're a citizen or not.
Well, Judge, wait a minute. Justice Taney said we would never be, and the Supreme and the Supreme Court never recanted. They never.
Oh, this is 2022.
Yeah, but all the laws from 1822 are still in effect.
You want to prove you're a citizen, don't you?
What?
You pay taxes, don't you?
So do illegal Mexicans.
Not really. If you're contributing, no, you're in the doggone service for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, you know now one thing the Trump administration ticked off now is that evidently we had some people who came here illegally but served this nation, and they deported them from what I understand. I said,
No, that did not sound right.
I know it don't
See,
sound right.
I thought that's what could have been a partial solution to that. Is say, hey, if you're grown up, you want to come to this country, serve the military.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, me too.
They do that. I'm
Especially in the
last
few years.
This is the CBS World News
Somehow I know we're going to
sponsored by
I know we're
Rocket
going to have a big
Mortgage.
one sooner or later.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
I thought about
After
this for a
weeks of
topic if you want to do
negotiating,
it.
lawmakers in the
And that
Senate have
is
passed a
the
bipartisan
hottest
gun control
religious
bill with support from
issue that has
15
been going on is
Republicans,
the Baptist
including Minority Leader Mitch
having their
McConnell.
issue
Our
with
comment now,
women.
Cortez is at the White House.
This is nowhere near what Democrats
Well,
want.
see,
It doesn't restrict the sale
leadership
of assault
and
weapons. It
having
doesn't restrict the sale
women as
of
ministers and
high-capacity
pastors and that kind of
magazines.
thing.
Women have always been pastors in the Baptist church.
More important here was to show
Maybe
that
not the Southern Primitive Baptist Church, but
on
Black
gun
Baptist
safety
women.
after years
Boy,
of
wow.
failure.
The bill enhances
Maybe not
background
down
checks
south.
for people
Well,
under
maybe they weren't
21.
part of the
It
Southern.
provides money to
Right.
states
Oh, they
to
were,
enact
yeah.
red
See, well,
flag
that's
laws.
different,
So
though.
does the boyfriend.
It's according to who you
Preventing
affiliate
someone
with.
convicted of domestic abuse from buying a gun.
I'm just trying to
House
figure
is
out
expected
what's
to
so
pass
different
the
about the
legislation
Southern
today.
Baptist and Northern
A
Baptist.
victory for New York
Well, they're,
voters in the Supreme
What's the
Court.
difference
It
between the
struck down
Republicans and the
state law that
Democrats?
requires
Who you're
permits to
affiliated with.
carry concealed weapons in public. Governor Kathy Hochul tells
Well, that's
CBS
something.
Mornings.
We believe
See,
that
that's
the
why I like
decision
us. We're
was
not
shocking
affiliated
in
at all.
scale and
I want
also
you to look at this. I
reprehensible,
want you to
given
look.
that we are
What?
experiencing
You
a
got- come on.
nationwide gun
See that right there?
violence
You see the
crisis.
shortest guy in the whole room right there?
Mhm.
See, that's me. I know no
We're
look like
prepared
me,
to take
but it's me.
action. We have
This is why I had
legislation
to
been
fight all the
drafted. We
time.
plan to go to a
I had to
special
fight these guys,
session
but they
next
all thought
week.
they could whoop my tail.
Carry laws are
did
still
it?
on the books.
And most of them did.
Massachusetts,
But-
Maryland, Hawaii, and
But I kept getting up.
at the latest January
Kept
6th
getting up.
hearing on Capitol
That's
Hill,
all are you?
Republican
5
member Adam
5, 6, and
Kinzinger
3/4.
promised
Today,
So we just
President
rounded
Trump's
off.
total
Yeah,
disregard for the Constitution and his oath will be fully exposed.
Justice
I was a
Department
tough
officials,
son of a
including the
bitch.
former acting
I
attorney
had
general,
to.
testified. Mr.
You was a
Trump
ranger?
threatened to
You-
replace
Yeah.
him if he
You-
questioned the outcome of the
They didn't care how
2020
tall you
election.
were, how short you were.
Triple-digit
Woo!
temperatures plaguing the South are stressing out the cows south of Nashville.
One of the
Dairy
best
farmer Brian
military
Flowers says
books
the
I ever
mills
read
slowed
was about
to a
paratroopers.
trickle.
With the heat, it's
That
about
was
a 10-pound a
great
day
book.
difference, which, a little over a
It
gallon
takes a
day
special
less
breed of
than
man
what
who are
we
willing
produce
to
in the heat.
Flowers says he's
go out in an
losing
airplane with some
$100
cloth
a day
over.
on the West
Let me
Coast.
tell you something.
In-person classes
It'd
have
take
been
a lot of
scratched
y'all to get
at
me out of
Stanford
there.
University.
Howard's been out since Tuesday.
Somebody's coming with me.
Canceled classes through the rest
Yes.
of the week.
And as you get older, you say,
Gas
why the hell did I do
transmission
that?
line
Because all it did was
possibly
hurt
due
your
to a
leg,
wildfire
hurt your back,
nearby.
hurt your face.
Whatever power
But you
is
did get an
used,
extra $110 a month.
emergency and critical needs.
And in 1975, 78,
What?
Temperature
yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, that was my whole check. My regular paycheck was like
power and air conditioning.
$300.
From the
Yeah.
Peter
And you
King,
get an
CBS
extra.
News.
Yeah.
S&P
And you only had to
down
jump
26
once
Dow
every
futures
90
ahead
days.
207. This is
keep getting
CBS
your money.
News.
Yeah.
The
so
World News
something-
Roundup is presented by
It costs
Rocket
a lot
Mortgage.
of money.
When you need
Yeah,
cash out of your
Zuckerberg
home and a simple way
Gates
to
money
get it,
would
Rocket
it would take their
Cash.
money to get me out of an
Yeah,
airplane.
well,
You can unlock more
but
cash
you know,
than you
Ronald
realize
Reagan
with
once
your
said,
home
where do we
equity.
get
Cash
such
out
men?
refinance today.
And
In
he
the
said,
last year,
look
average
around
home values have gone up nearly
Prattville,
20%.
and Tom.
Rocket Mortgage,
Every
you can unlock
memorial there, I read
thousands in less
everybody's
than
names
3
who
weeks,
died
but you've got
in
to
the
act
last
right
20
now
years.
before rates go up. So when you're looking to
I only
unlock
get
cash
halfway
home,
through it. It makes me
call
cry.
38 rocket
the
today.
young
Go to
people. Ronald Reagan said,
rocketmotors.com to get started.
every member of the military who lost their lives in battle lost two lives. They lost the one they had and the one they would have had.
Was your business hurt in the years
And
of
you
the
think-
pandemic?
and you look at the
Have you had a
ages
serious
of all
decline
these-
in revenue since 2019? Was your business partly or fully shut down by the government? If you answered yes to any of these questions,
I mean, if you see
maybe
somebody
you'll
30,
receive up to
that's
$26,000 per employee.
Oh, it is.
By
That's
taking
old.
advantage of the employer retention tax credit, a fully funded tax credit created to help businesses during these difficult times.
Really
The
gets
experts at
me.
ERTC
Old
rebate
men
masters
make
are ready to
wars,
help
young
you
men
get the
fight
money you're owed. Call 844-333-ERTC or 844-333-3782.
I said,
The question for Harley drivers is who does the
well,
repairs
did
without
you forget?
avoiding the
Yeah, I did
warranty?
forget. Because I was thinking about something
You
else. I
said
was gonna say-
old men make something.
Oh, yeah, old men make wars, young men fight.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Use anyone other than the companies or their authorized
Now,
dealers
the other
to
one,
repair their products.
I was thinking
or
about him.
they install
I know you've
so-called
heard this.
aftermarket parts. The FTC has now ordered
In peace,
Harley-Davidson and Westinghouse to add language to
sons
their
bury their
warranties, saying that a
fathers
customer
in
taking
war.
their product to a
Fathers bury
repair
their
shop
sons.
that isn't affiliated with or authorized by the company or using third-party parts does not void the warranty.
So-
Christopher Cruz.
I gotta tell you, I would.
The mother of dragons says there's
Under
more
this
to come.
president, I would never tell
Amelia
my
Clark
son
tells the
that.
BBC Kit Harington will reprise his role as Jon Snow
But that
in
I'm
the
hearing
Game
from
of
them,
Thrones
they're not
spin-off.
happy with it.
Creator George
I
R.
would never.
confirms on his blog the program is in the planning stages.
Trump
Deborah
at
Rodriguez,
least allow
CBS
the
News.
military to do their job.
Yeah.
Do their job. Now he did whip out during the draft, but you know what? They never declared war on Vietnam.
No, I know.
They never declare war. Declare war, then you can whine. But we're just gonna do a police action, so I'm gonna die because I'm the police. No. World War II was the last time we declared war on anybody.
Yeah.
But for 20 years we're in Afghanistan, but we ain't at war.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing over here then? Because there are certain rules apply during wartime. Man, that's Caleb. I saw y'all in the picture something the other day. Was that Father's Day? Something. Your boy is big.
He's big young.
Kind of like mine. Ooh.
Jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now
You want to see the major issue around our house? That's what we're dealing with right now.
Well, you ought to give them away. Start charging people for it. You should give them away.
Shoot.
Come on, man.
Nobody gave me my dog.
Well, yeah, but you didn't put any work in that. The dog did all the work.
You don't think you put money? It costs about $50 a month to feed them. That's $600 a year.
And that's why you should give them away. Keep two.
That's what I'm talking about. For the $600 a year for the two I got. Plus the vet bills.
I've never seen what do they look like when they're grown? Do they look like German Shepherds?
Well, it looks like an Australian Shepherd.
I don't know what an Australian is. See, I was born on the other side of the track. We didn't have.
That's what the male looks like. Full grown.
Looks like a collie almost.
No,
it's huge.
That's an Australian Shepherd.
Are way more satisfied.
Yeah.
After making the switch, too.
Let me look closer.
Satisfaction rate from Medishare is double.
Collie's got a different shaped head.
Yeah, okay. He's got a lot of fur on him.
And they're a lot smarter than Collie. That's the female. They're out of
She's cute.
Yeah, you
Pretty
can
dog.
save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're
But-
taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now.
I'm not getting as many calls this time though, and I think that
Hey, food's going up. Everything's
well, I think the economy's had something to do with it. I'm not kidding. May not sell them at all.
Well, maybe you ought to take the price down.
News Radio
I'm
1440.
just saying.
Here's the thing: people are selling Aussie Doodles for $1,000 a piece. That's a crossbred dog. I should get 500 for mine. They're full blooded.
And good morning, one and all. First of all, let me take this opportunity again to welcome our new sponsor, J.O. Lane Truck and Auto, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. Call 272-4313 and ask for Steve. Now, let me tell you some of the inventory that they got over there right now before I tell you about it. Now, if you're interested in a Lexus, I'm trying to sell this Lexus. I've been trying to sell this Lexus now for like, a couple weeks here. Okay, somebody need to go buy it. 2005 Lexus RX 330, 12.8. They also have a 2006 Ford F-250 XL for 12.2. Moving right along, we got a really nice 2002 Ford F-150 King Ranch for 10.4. All right, I'm just telling you, great deals already, and they all look good. But my favorite one is a 2003 Lincoln Town Car Signature 9.8. Looks good, white, beautiful car. Okay, matter of fact, you could Uber around that car and make lots of money. If people will feel like they're in a limousine, you'll make them feel like they're very, very important. How about 2011 Subaru Legacy Premium 8.5? Anyway, they got plenty of them. Go to the website, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. You can look at a bunch more cars on there. You can even put in your application. You can actually put in the kind of car you're looking for, and if they don't have the kind of car you're looking for, you can apply for a car online. You can view all the images of the cars. Just a great place to do it. And I love this GMC truck. Beautiful truck, nice and clean. Anyway, so give them a call. Ask for Steve, 272-4313. That's 272-4313. And don't forget to go JLLaneTruckandAuto.com and look at the inventory right now. All right. Got a guest. Tell folks who you are there.
I'm John Colquitt.
John.
Wetumpka, Alabama. I'm a retired teacher and minister.
Oh,
and I work for Alabama FFA now, and I go around and visit teachers all over my district and help my agricultural teachers that are running their programs. And since I'm a veteran and they can get me cheap, I go around and do this great job. I really enjoy it. It's something that I can do, and I can kind of do it on my own time. So it's a great retirement job, but it's a lot of fun too, and I'm really enjoying doing it.
So what does FFA stand for?
Future Farmers of America.
Okay, then. Is anybody still farming?
You ate, didn't you? You haven't missed meals lately, have you?
Yeah, but you've
been to a grocery store, haven't you?
Yeah, but I never go to the vegetable thing.
So that's not all we produce. You haven't eaten anything in the last day or so?
Sure, peanut butter and jelly.
Nobody's doing farming. Yeah,
peanut butter and jelly. I mean, small farmers. I know people are farming Alcoa and people like that, but I mean,
most of the farms in Alabama are small farms, privately owned,
and it's worth farming still.
It must be. They still do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
really, that's people ask that or say, I hear all the time, do they still have an FFA? And I said, well, we're bigger now than we've ever been.
Okay. Well, we use the technology. We don't really.
We use technology in agriculture too.
Yeah. Well, I know you do, which is probably why we don't. Well, you said we got more farms now than we've had in a long time.
I say we still have small farms. We've got more FFA members than we've ever had. That's the young people in school that are affiliated with the organization.
So does that job pay well?
That's according to which one you're talking about.
I can't imagine.
It's just like anything else.
Yeah.
Does a radio talk show host pay the same thing in Montgomery as it does if you're on the biggest radio station in New York City?
No.
Well, then that's the difference in the two. It's the same thing.
Although I've been offered it, I didn't want to leave Montgomery.
I
I didn't want to leave Montgomery. Montgomery's my home, my adopted home. So, getting too old to be leaving, going around.
Yeah.
Get up there and get fired because I said something they didn't like, then they send me back.
That would probably happen.
Yeah, they send me back to Alabama anyway.
That probably would happen.
Yeah.
I've listened to your show. It probably would.
Well, but you got to tell the truth, because people don't like truth hurts sometimes. Nobody wants to hear it. Anyway, so we was going to talk about something because yesterday was my religious day, but I didn't have anybody to show up because my one guest left on. Dr. Merrithew had to go.
Chief Police on, didn't you?
Yeah, Chief Police on. Yeah,
I heard him.
But the Southern Baptists right now really are having issues. Are a leadership vacuum. Is there a leadership vacuum? Now, are you a Baptist?
No, I'm Church of Christ.
Don't get me talking about them.
Yeah, well, you've been to a Church of Christ.
Yeah, I know, but they got this dumb rule: you ain't supposed to play a piano, which is a crock, because there's nothing in the Bible say you cannot use.
It says you can't bring in a tuba, bring in a gun.
That's right.
There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't have a striptease.
But the Bible certainly does deal with music and musical instruments, and it does not prohibit them in the church.
Yeah, well, we can get in on that issue.
Yeah.
Leave
that alone. It's a dogma of the church. It's a doctrine of the church, which is fine. Just say it is our doctrine that we don't do it, and that's fine. But
that's what we do say.
But but they're trying to equate it with some biblical authority. There is none.
There is none.
There's none.
Okay, so
that says that you cannot have.
I guess Colossians 3:16 shouldn't count.
What that says.
What it says that we're to sing and make melody in our hearts to the Lord.
That's right.
5:19.
That's right. And music instruments makes that melody sound better.
Really?
Because some people can't sing, and in the church, we're the only place in the town where we put people up there to sing that sound bad, but because they're singing in the church, we accept it. Man. No, I'm sorry. No, there's nothing in the Bible that prohibits the instrument in the church. Nothing.
If that is your basis of utilizing or having your rules put in, then I would think that if you were the quote pastor of a church, then you would not prohibit anything. You wouldn't prohibit, showing movies on Friday night.
Well, no. I was
getting into something like
certain movies.
Certain. See, but you're making up a rule there that we don't see in the Bible.
Why
are you being such an authoritarian?
We all made up a rule. Say you can't have a piano, so why can't I come up with one?
We just didn't add anything that wasn't there to start with.
It's in the Bible. As a matter of fact, in the book of Numbers, it's in the Bible about the instruments.
There's never anything about a piano in the Bible in the entire thing.
Oh, there ain't nothing about an iPad either.
I know.
But we use them.
Yeah.
So why can't we have a piano in the Church of Christ? We use iPads, air conditioners, lights.
I just told you why.
No, okay, because I agree. As long as you say this is what we want, just don't give me some non-existent biblical reference that you can't have.
So Ephesians 5:19 doesn't exist.
Make melody. That's fine, and you make melody with music and your voice.
But that verse doesn't say that.
Well, it does not say it.
There we go. We're going in circles again.
No, listen,
yes, we absolutely are going in circles.
I understand Church of Christ people are just dogmatic in this, and I'm never going to change anybody's mind. No, I'm not trying to.
Probably not.
But
but
it's not in the Bible. There's no prohibition of pianos or any musical instrument in the Bible as it comes to the sanctuary. There's no prohibition.
There's a sanctuary to start with. You can start using a word that's not there in the beginning.
Well, that's what the preacher's been calling it.
Yeah, well, don't pay attention to preachers a lot of times.
Okay, anyway, we're going to get it. But anyway, just don't tell me that it's biblical, because it isn't. Okay. It isn't.
Well, I guess you'll have to cut Colossians 3:16 and 5:19, Ephesians 5:19 out, I suppose.
No, just don't.
It's okay if you do that. No. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's your business.
Just don't say we can't have them, because we can't.
I haven't told you not to do anything.
Right. I'm just saying, but the church doctrine and biblical language are not the same thing. Doctrine is made by man.
Sure.
Okay. So that's fine. Use it. Yeah, you do when it comes to not having a piano. That's doctrine of man.
See, the difference in mine and yours is you've heard me give Bible verses the entire time. You've not mentioned a single one.
Because God gave us something that says common sense. And when you've been going to church for over 60 years, yeah, the whole concept of the Bible, I got it up here.
Oh, you got it all in your mind.
I got it all in my mind.
Then you need to be a preacher, because if you know that much, you really need to be one. You got all of it. Remember that statement, all of it in my mind. Because I certainly do not have all of it in my mind. I would tend to think that I've studied it more than you have.
The basic
tenets, photographic memory or something.
The basic tenets of the Bible are common sense for the most part.
Common sense for the most part.
For the most part. That's just common sense. Treat your neighbor like you'd rather be treated. Don't covet your neighbor. The 10 Commandments pretty much covers everything. Would you not agree?
So the 10 Commandments covers everything.
Just about. Would you not agree?
Just about. There's a difference in two things when you say there. You said part of it, you said just about, and the other one says it covers everything. Which one is it?
Because I'm not a total scholar on the Bible like you, but tell me that just about every issue that we deal with, the 10 it would fall under one of those commandments.
Doesn't have anything in there about Christ who saved you.
What?
In the Ten Commandments.
Well, God gave.
Ten Commandments doesn't mention Christ at all. He hadn't come yet.
Well, he hadn't come yet. Exactly.
Right.
That's
But
what
you just said that's.
I said.
That's basically all you got to do. All you really got to do is what the Ten Commandments say.
Well, I said that it covers just about everything.
Oh, just about everything.
Do unto others that you'd have them do unto you.
It's not in the Ten Commandments.
Oh, yeah. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not. That's not in the Ten Commandments.
Don't get off in the weeds where you don't need to be.
But wait. But the principle is there. Okay, the principle is there. Do not covet thy neighbor's wife and stuff like that. Well, okay, don't treat people the way you don't want to be treated.
Sure, that's a great principle.
That's right, and it's pretty much
But
covered.
you can go to the verse in that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, Okay, anyway, we don't want to talk about that all day long because y'all stuck on this thing, but you can't have a piano. But biblically, you're wrong.
Remember, Kevin.
Yes,
you brought it up.
I know, but because you guys
I
won't.
never said a word about it until you brought it up.
But you guys won't admit the fact that
So you
it is
think
not
that you should
prohibited.
institute, and well, why don't you come instruct us on why we need to have that, the music?
Because it makes music better. It makes the celebration better. It makes the implementation of music delivery better.
Really?
Yes. It soothes us. That's why God gave us the ability to make it. That's why the birds sing, they whistle. It makes
So
us
our
feel better.
acapella music's not any good.
Okay. Do you want the truth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Listen, we love you as brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the acapella choirs suck. Acapella
Really?
choirs. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, they're not very good. But that's just
Well,
me.
what would be better if we did rap songs or something?
No. Because I can't stand rap either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But music, you take a little piano, go with
Well,
something.
that's always going to be subjective, but
Yeah,
that
is. That's
some of our. I think you've been to Bone Park, haven't you?
Yes.
I remember you talking about going there. So you think theirs sucks?
I think acapella music for people who cannot sing really good sucks.
I think people in the Church of Christ, and I've been to several.
Yeah.
I think people in the Church of Christ sing better than any other group you're talking about.
Well, I would suspect that you would think that because you're part of the Church
No, I
of
just
Christ.
think we learn how to sing.
No, not really. I guess it depends on how your ears are tuned.
Well,
because now
but even people that go to other congregations will say, singing is really good here because y'all really practice it and do it.
Okay.
I can send you some. I can send you some video of some that.
Now I have heard acapella music sounds
Really?
good. I've heard
So
acapella.
not all of them suck.
Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because some reason people think you get up in the middle of the church and just sing, and all of a sudden because you're singing in the church, you sound good. They don't. They suck sometimes. But you got to sit there and smile and act like you like it when it's sounding terrible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You're harsh, aren't you?
Well, no, I'm just telling
I
the
want to hear
truth.
you sing.
I can sing.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. But I don't want to bore my audience this morning. Because I can actually sing.
Okay.
Good morning, who's this? Yes. There's no prohibition from having instruments in the church. I can't get your call me back because your phone's all
Just
kind
try
of
that again. I would love to talk to her.
Yeah, me too. She's young.
She sounds smarter than you.
Yeah, well, sometimes some days that's not very hard to do, but okay. Now, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I go to the Church of Christ because that's where my wife goes. And when I asked why don't y'all have musical instruments, they said because that's the way they did it in the New Testament. And I said, well, they didn't have speakers and microphones in the New Testament.
Or iPads.
You can have those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. John, come on.
Well, I mean, I know that's always, they didn't have a water fountain, they didn't have a toilet, they didn't have lights, they didn't have a parking lot, they didn't have carpet on the floor, those things don't have anything to do with the worship itself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I mean, the color of the carpet doesn't matter. I know you can always add in things that were never there. Absolutely. Most of the time in the first century, I understand they met in homes and caves.
But instruments are in the Bible. Instruments are in the Bible.
Yeah, they are. I didn't say they weren't.
David was commissioned by God to put instruments in the temple.
Well, say that.
Did it say it was in the temple?
Yes, David had instruments, musical instruments in the temple.
Well, we'll agree on this though. I mean, David did a whole lot of stuff he wasn't supposed to do.
So we all. I mean, so we all. I got you. Okay. Yeah, that is. It's doctrine. They won't admit that it's just a Church of Christ doctrine. It's got nothing to do with a prohibition in the Bible.
A body of knowledge that you've learned, and yeah, I mean, it's a doctrine.
And it's how you apply that knowledge that determines your doctrine. Yeah. And you guys are way off base on this one.
You see,
if that's your preference to have acapella music,
right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Really?
No.
That is based on the Bible.
Amen. Yes, that's all I've been saying this whole time.
Okay.
So
all right. if that's what you want to do, that's good, but just don't blame it on the Bible.
I just use verses to validate our position.
No, you didn't.
There again, Ephesians 5:19.
It says.
It says, read it. We sing and make melody in our heart.
That's right. That's right. And even that verse, it did not prohibit the use of instruments to help your melody sound better.
I know. And remember, the genesis of this argument came from you, and you're saying we're dead wrong.
You are.
Let me ask you this: have I called you dead wrong on anything you've done yet?
But I probably have been.
Oh. So you're wrong about the music?
No. I'm not wrong. Oh. I'm not wrong about the Bible does not prohibit the using of instruments in the church. That is a church doctrine, Church of Christ doctrine, and that's fine. If you don't want musical instruments, that's your choice. But just don't say it's prohibited. It isn't by the Bible.
All I've said was what is in there.
But you still haven't made the case. If this was a court of law, I'd win.
Oh, you absolutely wouldn't.
Yes, I would. Okay.
You think, Kevin, you think that you should be able to, by your own intellect, supersede the Bible just because you like it or you want it or because it's in your own logic.
Okay.
And that's human reason.
Logic has nothing to do with this.
I agree with that. I agree with that
All right.
wholeheartedly.
Good morning. Who's this?
Kevin.
Yes.
When David had the instrument in the temple, now was that before the new covenant?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know when the New Testament came along, when Christ came along.
Christ, yeah.
Christ was born. Well, now you do know.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, he does know. Yes, ma'am. And that's the point I made.
He did, but again, though, there's no prohibition of instruments in the church. There's none.
So you think we should be followers of David?
No.
Instead of Christ and the New Testament writers.
Again, tell me
those that are inspired.
Tell me that it's doctrine, and I'll shut up about it. It's a Church of Christ doctrine. That's fine, but don't say it's biblical. It isn't. It is a doctrine made up by man. No instrument.
It's just verses you don't like.
No, it isn't. Show me in the Bible where
let our caller go ahead, hon.
Yeah,
because I've enjoyed talking to you more than you. Go ahead, you've made a lot more sense. Go ahead.
Okay, let's take this one.
You didn't.
Good morning. No, I didn't cut her. She made a point. I didn't cut her off. Of course.
She may have been the most intelligent person on this show this morning.
Good morning.
Kevin.
Yes.
This is not one of my greatest areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the road traveling to y'all too.
Good morning.
But what I'm learning, number one, the Bible said there's nothing new under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing new. So whatever's here, it's been here before. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
When you say, it may not say iPad, but it may be another word. I'm quite sure everything that you stated this morning, it could be there's an answer to it. And I'm going to say that you are wrong.
Okay.
You said that it don't say by iPad, but it may say a tool. It may be another word that justify your argument that instrument was in the church. It may not use the word instrument. It may be another term,
right?
But I'm quite sure that how we live is in the Bible. Everything that you said come out of the Bible. There's nothing new under the sun. So
right.
For you to come on the radio
and
make it seem as though you smarter than the Bible, that you can argue the Bible,
Hey.
I'm quite sure
What?
Bible scholars is going to call in.
Yeah.
And tell you that you are wrong. Yes.
Well, now let me ask you this one question. Then if what you say,
I think he's right.
No. If what you say is absolutely right about arguing the Bible, why is it that even in our communities we got 10 different churches with 10 different religions on the same street?
That's in the Bible too.
Oh.
If I could pull over and do some research,
You probably could.
No.
That's nothing new.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun, man.
Right, but I'm not saying there's anything new. I'm just saying you cannot say that not having an instrument in the church is biblical. It isn't. That's right.
So what is the noise? How do you make a joyful noise? How do you make a joyful noise?
Well, you can make it with your heart. You can make it with the melody, with your voice, but you can make it with musical instruments also.
Okay, so that makes a joyful noise. So what is this here? Do you make joyful noise inside of a church, outside of a church?
Sure.
Okay, so if you make a joyful noise in the church, then how are you doing it?
You can make it with your voices. You can make it with the voices and instruments. Either way, joyful noise. Joy sounds good no matter how you make it.
Okay, so why are you saying that there was no? They may not use the word piano. They may not use the word organ.
No. The Church of Christ does not believe you can have instruments in the church sanctuary. Oh, whatever the word, whatever. Yeah, Church of Christ. We ain't talking about the other church. Yeah. Right. And it's not in the Bible. No, it's not in the Bible. I can't. That's right. That's. Well, I agree with that. Well,
that's true.
Right. So I'm not arguing beliefs. You can believe you're a girl and you're a guy. It's exactly. It's a doctrine. Right. But they try to make you think that it's biblical that you're not supposed to have one. Yeah. And that's not true.
Connor, you noticed this morning. He's told me I was wrong and I've never told him. See, that's what I mean. Sharp. Yeah, sharp as night. Kevin's thinking the authoritative voice is him this morning.
Anyway, let us go, and we say I don't know how we get on this anymore.
You started it. What do you mean how we got? We were going to talk about the Baptist and allowing female ministers and pastors, evangelists, and those kind of things with Rick Warren. That's what our topic was supposed to be this morning, but you wanted to get off into
and
the
even
music part of it. You started because I didn't even have that down to talk about.
Okay, well,
that's true.
But you brought up the Church of Christ, and every time that comes up, it just gets
you. Asked me what I was.
Yeah, that's right. I thought you were the Baptist. Anyway, we'll be back.
I never said that.
We'll be right back.
To give credit for one thing, it does prompt some people to call. Let me go down the hall to the bathroom. You get my age and your age, you gotta go to the bathroom.
Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued
customer, I'll win this art. Come down this way.
Appreciation from your credit card company.
Yeah.
That's what Discover matches all of the cash you earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Another really hot day on the way today. Temperatures up around 101 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, and there will be a few isolated showers and storms, especially east of I-65 and south of I-85 later this afternoon into this evening. Otherwise, just very hot. I wouldn't worry about evening plans. Just keep in mind an isolated shower or storm is possible. Better chance of showers and storms Saturday, a 50% chance. Highs as a result, 97, 96 on Sunday with a few isolated showers and storms. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking pretty good. Nothing's been reported recently that would send you on an alternate route. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Looking at your traffic flow maps, no big backups or slowdowns, that is always good news. Your home is worth more now than ever before, so get those special projects started. Call the A-Team at MCS in Wetumpka for a cash-out refinance or an equity loan. MCS 567-9000. NMLS 232-876. Buckle up. It's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Why are you driving around town on those old bald tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
Hey, hear me at my new time right here on the same great station. It's all happening every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
Hey, Dad, cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of the primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Research shows listeners don't like it.
Well, it's a new covenant. And the new covenant does not prohibit
mutual
does not prohibit
insurance and made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad,
Okay, I'll bet you I can find someplace in the New Testament where they talk about insurance.
You bet you can. They're mentioned in Revelation. See, you need to know your Bible better.
No, I just need to know the principles. And the principles, because just because you can quote verse and thing doesn't make you a wizard either. But the principles never change. Words may in translation, transliteration, but the principles never change.
I never said they did.
Exactly. So I know the principles.
Okay. So your principle is you have any kind of instruments you want to do, anything you want to do.
You can use anything in
You could have sex and worship in front of people. You can call that worship.
Well, you can't call that worship.
Well, yeah, you can.
I mean, you can call it worship.
It's not.
But your sense and my sense know that it's not.
But
we know that.
What about a married couple showing everybody how to have sex in front of the children and wives? And I mean,
but we know that's not right either.
How do you know that?
Because our instinct tells us.
Your instinct.
Instinct tells us. Really? That conscience that God puts inside. We know that's not right.
Yeah, but that's not biblical, though, Kevin.
Let me look one of them 10 commandments. Oh, it says, somewhere in there that comes under one of those 10 commandments.
No, it doesn't.
I'll figure out which one it is in a minute. That I'm right.
Do you want to talk about the women or not?
It's up to you.
No, it's up to you because you directed it in the music direction. But I mean, I just thought that would be because it's timely. They've been talking about it this week.
Only the Southern Baptists.
Well, that's 40 million people, and you can't throw a rock around here and not hit a Baptist in the top of the head.
So is every church in Montgomery Southern Baptist? Every Baptist church?
No, not all of them. Most of them are.
You see
That means a
miracles
whole lot of
all the
people
time
wrong.
at our children's hospital, but miracles never come easy.
Yeah, we've never.
That's why,
even
as
talked
great as
about it.
children's hospitals
Well, they
are,
should
they
have
need our support to keep
women
miracles happening.
as leaders.
Put your money where the miracles are.
I think that's
Support your Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
But you know, this is the South. Y'all look at things a little bit differently than the rest of the
What do you
country.
mean, y'all? You're one of the
Southern. Now, I'm still Indianian.
I know where you're from.
I'm a Hoosier.
You lived here longer than you lived in Indiana.
Okay, we're back. 860-1440 is our number. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, our sponsor, JL Lane Truck and Auto. Go to jllanetruckandauto.com, 272-4313. Ask for Steve. They got a bunch of cars over there. Wait, matter of fact, a couple of those cars got your name on them. Right now, I can tell it right now. Online inventory, go to jllanetruckandauto.com. Check out the inventory. Call them up. Ask some questions, 272-4313, and they can buy there, pay this. So I don't have to worry about the credit thing, anything like that. Just be honest when you go in there and talk to Mr. Lane or Steve, and they'll take care of it. Okay. In the cars, they've undergone a rigorous inspection process. The good cars. Okay. I'm just saying. You might want to give them a call. 272-4313. And I'm trying to get rid of that Lexus over there. Okay, that Lexus is a good car. Now, one of the things we did want to talk about is the role of women in that church. I'm going to take these two calls. We're going to get to that too. Role of the women, the Baptist women anyway. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Oh, okay.
Certainly.
Praise ye the Lord. Praise God in his sanctuary. Praise him in the firmament of his power. Praise him with the mighty acts. Praise him according to his excellent greatness. Praise him with the sound of trumpets. Praise him with a psaltery and harp. Praise him with the cymbal and dance. praise him upon the high sounding cymbals. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord.
Well,
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. That's another thing. And if you get on the conversation, I went in and talked to it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I dated a church twice. I know what that is, how that's going to go down that road, not so very well. You know what they asked me, God told them on the other side, so I went to 2000 and it's 20 low in the church. But you have a great thing.
That was outstanding.
Okay, so
She actually read some Bible to us too.
but I knew but I already knew that you could. It was in there.
Well, it's in the Old Testament. There's no question about that. I never said that it wasn't.
And the Old Testament is not irrelevant.
I didn't say it was irrelevant.
Okay,
So you're putting words in my mouth.
So I win.
In fact, my Bible scholarship is in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me take this call and get on. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Good morning.
He's trying to be a professional one day. James tried to get there, but he learned to hang up on certain people. That's all it is. Anyway,
how rude.
I got a question. Well, first of all, you hurt my feelings, sir, because I used to watch you little drummer boy every Christmas. He plays his drum, which is an instrument. So you trying to tell I shouldn't let my grandson listen to the drummer boy anymore?
Oh, well, listen, that was one of my favorite little Christmas animation stories that I used to watch too. Just don't try to make it doctrine, because there wasn't actually a little drummer boy. It's a great story. I'm sorry?
That was in the Old Testament. What you trying to tell me?
What do you mean, the little drummer boy?
Yeah, I mean, they put this out for us to watch every year. With God. And I got another question. I'm not going to, that's not
Sure.
my main point I want to talk about.
Okay.
Was Jesus born in Jerusalem, Bethlehem, or Israel?
Well, certainly he was in Israel. The Bible tells us he was born in Bethlehem, right outside of Jerusalem.
So is Bethlehem located in Israel?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to know about that.
Sure, yeah.
But since you're not a member of the Baptist church, why are you showing interest in what they do in that church? It's just like people telling the Catholic people not to drink or whatever things they do in their church.
Now, the only thing I was doing was bringing up the topic because it's so pressing right now. I mean, it's the hottest topic that's going on right now in religious circles, because, and Rick Warren is the genesis of this, and he spoke to the Southern Baptist Convention and the leadership there, and as a result, I just wanted to see how people wanted to weigh in on it.
But that's not your denomination, so why you have that great concern about that?
Because I think it's an important topic as we move forward. And I'll tell you this, in some of the churches of Christ, the roles of women are changing there too. So it's something we're having we see it coming up as an issue, and moving forward as we discuss it, we look in the Bible and see what it has to say about it. I think that's a very important topic.
What about the Muslims? A lot of people disagree how they church or whatever. What's the man's name? Help me out there.
You got me on that one, brother.
No.
No. The Muslims, who they look up to?
Muhammad?
Yeah. That's what I look for. I got too much going.
Well, one of the reasons we have far more people in our audience that are. I was just going to say that just not that many people of Islam right around here. There's some, but that would be listening to this show. I would say that it was probably 95% people that have at least gone to church in their life, a Christian, quote, Christian church, as opposed to people of Islam. I doubt if they're listening to Kevin's show.
Okay.
If they're Islam.
I appreciate your 3 minutes up just right. Let me take one more call, and I got to go back to my last break hour. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, friend.
Good morning, Ed.
Hello, Mr. Ed.
Hey, good morning, friend. God says so beautifully. He says so beautifully. He says, the power you lift up from the earth, the power you lift up from the earth, I will draw all, A-L-L, I will draw all men unto me. Have a good day, my friend.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, with that, all right, I went way too long on before my last break, so I'm not gonna take the last break, and I will come back. John Copeland is with us, and the whole women issue. I don't know. No, I used to actually think that women should not be preachers in the church, leaders in the church, because I went by that Timothy. I was in First Timothy, where it tells the woman to be quiet and
Yeah, I've got the passages here.
Yeah,
that we can talk about.
Yeah. So when we come back, let's close it out with that, because I used to be, I couldn't stand it, but then I said to myself, well, I mean, there were some of the bravest people in the Bible were women, but I don't know if they should be in leadership over men. I think God made men as natural leaders of women, but women, they think a little differently sometimes. Well, as a matter of fact, they think differently a lot of the time. But then again, we got a lot of men who think they're women now. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. We'll be back.
Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored
bunch
by
of men
Allstate.
Decide they
You
want
a
to be
safe
women.
driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from
I thought we got a bunch of
Allstate,
men who want to be women.
the more you can save. And Allstate
Woo.
protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Another really hot day on the way today. Temperatures up around 101 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, and there will be a few isolated showers. and storms.
What amazes me is that
By 65
everybody's
and
all
south of I-85
act like they're surprised that it's hot.
into this evening. Otherwise, just
I mean, this is
hot.
the South. It always gets hot. It gets hot every summer. What's the problem? Now, if this was winter and it was this hot, we'd have a problem.
As a result,
No,
796 on
it
Sunday.
happens every year.
Isolated showers and storms.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 14.
If you fire your position on music, you got the whole crew.
It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
We'll see what direction you go with this.
Yeah, because I think I have a equal argument to support my thesis. I think I have a.
You think there should be women ministers?
That is always good news. Trenton State and their
Hey, this is too good not to share. I'm not gonna say it on air. This is. You're gonna be amazed by my brilliance on this issue.
Okay.
Call Trenton State before July 4th.
Where's Caleb at? Have him call.
Buckle up.
He may not be awake.
What? Everybody should be awake at 7:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Say no to old
But when you got it like that, you got it like that.
Chico's Auto Pros 239-9510.
Here's a question for you. Why is it that some people aren't as stressed out about the future as you think they'd be? Answer? They're probably among the millions of Americans who have prepared
they're not
themselves
colds.
with
Come
emergency
on now.
food storage from My Patriot Supply. If the worst ever
I
happened,
like the church.
literally
The only problem I
millions
have
of
is just
American
that
families are
I don't have
protected
a problem with them not having these arrangements. I got a problem with them telling people that you're not supposed to. That's not true.
But we have to answer the question. People ask us that question all the time.
Because nobody understands it.
wide variety of delicious
And
meals.
if you
that
talk to
average
them
over
about it, they're
2,000
vehemently
calories
opposed
per
to
day.
it. So you're just
Everything
wrong.
stays fresh for up to
Like you just did a
25
few
years in
minutes ago.
storage.
But that woman,
Order
she
your
called
kits now by
and she
going to
told us all the places
mypatriotsupply.com.
where it said, praise
Order
God
will
with the
ship
instruments,
fast.
praise
All right.
God with
In
the
the Old
heart.
Testament.
Right, right. But the Old Testament's not irrelevant.
Something you
It
need
says
to
it's
jump
relevant.
on now
So-
before the next news
I never
headline
said it was
stuns the
relevant.
The
world.
Ten Commandments
Go to
came from the Old Testament.
mypatriotsupply.com.
Okay, so we
mypatriotsupply.com.
although most of them still have a heart.
Should our worship be what it was in the Old Testament?
Should our worship be?
You
Not
just
some,
used
not some part
an
of
Old
it.
Testament.
Not some parts of it. Animal sacrifice and.
You don't think we need? Why don't we do animal sacrifices?
And energy levels.
Because when Jesus died on the cross,
Okay, you're absolutely right.
right, he paid for that. So we have to do that. But again, when we
But we
pray,
should add the music, but not the sacrifice. You're saying we're supposed to go to the Old Testament.
I said it's not irrelevant.
I had given up
Because
But
there's
you're
some.
using an Old Testament example to say that this should be implemented into the New Testament church.
Right, right, but in the Bible, it said something about the old tradition should not be easily done away with. Okay, but just because they're old.
Christ said all things have been done away with.
Well, as far
Okay,
as,
so that shouldn't count either.
no, he to not dispatch
Finding great
the wisdom of the past.
You know why I think that there
trying
isn't
to find a
instruments,
needle in a haystack.
that there wasn't instruments.
post
Now, there
your
was
job to
not
some
instruments
job
for about
board, but
600
then
years.
all you can do is hope the
That-
right person
That was a
comes
man
along.
thing.
which is why you
Well,
should
there
try
wasn't because, and I think that it's divine wisdom because everybody can't play.
And everybody can't sing.
On candidates finding
A lot of
you,
people can
it finds
sing.
them.
A lot of people can play.
It's powerful
Yeah.
technology identifies people with the right
There again,
experience
so
and
do
actively
you think
invites
that
them
everybody
to
that
apply
should
to your
play should
job.
bring their
You get
instrument and play to
qualified
God?
candidates
No.
fast.
Really?
So
Because
why
the
not?
Bible says all things in order.
Oh.
If everybody in this playing their own,
Boy,
doing their
that's
own,
your description of order, though. If everybody had an instrument, everybody all wanted to
I think
instrument at
order.
one time.
I think order has a reason and logical.
And that's based on whatever you think it is.
No. I think reason and logic is the only thing that keeps us grounded because there are certain laws of nature that you cannot supersede, that you cannot ignore. Because if you do, it comes back to beat you in the butt.
My new time right here on
no.
the same
Logical reason is my friend.
It's all happening.
And a cousin called Common Sense.
Right here on News Radio 1440.
The time on the clock says that it is 7:49 in the morning. Okay, women in the church. Now, this has always been one of women in leadership in church. It's always been one of my. Now, for a long time, I was convinced that women should not take a leadership role in church because when Timothy told her to be quiet, sit down, obey her husband, whatever the case may be, I thought, okay, well, that's good because God.
That's some South Alabama Hebrew there.
Right. But listen, wait a minute. God made men stronger, okay, than women for a reason. I thought because we are physically stronger 99% of the time. Every once in a while, there's a woman who's stronger than some men. Then you got to check out that testosterone thing and see what's going on there. But as I've lived and seen more men abdicate their responsibility as leaders, then somebody's got to fill that void. And if not women, who?
So you think that if you think there's a void in leadership, then you need to change what God said.
Well, God didn't say. Timothy said that in the Bible. Where did God say?
I mean, we do have to look. It all goes out the window if we don't think the Bible has any authority.
Well, but some of that stuff was cultural. It's got to be cultural, not necessarily biblical. You don't believe that everything in the Bible is put there by a man, that they didn't inject some of their cultural norms at the time?
All I know is this: is the Bible talks about its inspiration is coming from God. It isn't a private interpretation. It came from men as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. It is the Word of God. It is the way of salvation. Faith comes by hearing, hearing by the Word of God.
Mm-hmm.
The source of our faith comes from the Word of God. There's no question in my mind that it's inspired. And that's where we go to as far as our authority. And we know that that's one of those things that we have to do to have an understanding of what we need to do. I mean, Peter said, the divine power was granted to him that pertained to all life and godliness through the knowledge of him who called us according to his excellence. There's so many passages in there where it talks about the authority and inspiration. Now, people take parts of the Bible and kick them out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're all inspired and that's the source that we go to for our doctrine, as you say, then I think that, whether it's music and worship or authority in the church and the leadership and how what the qualifications are for people that are leaders within the church and what the church actually is, then you go to that for your source because you don't have any other thing to go to for one thing, and it was preserved for us. I believe it was protected for us, and all scripture is given by the inspiration of God. So that's where we go to, and that's why knowledge of the Bible is so vital.
Well, we got a lot of knowledge of the Bible, but we got 3,300 different interpretations of that knowledge. Good morning, who's this? Yes.
There's only one interpretation of the Bible in the scriptures, and that's directly from the Holy Ghost. However, I noticed the talk this morning, Kevin, I understand you and all that kind of stuff. And it's a song of that, all that kind of stuff, but there's several scriptures that speak about once you are saved, one would say that you are no longer male or female, no longer bond nor free, no longer rich nor cheap. But, you have the shot. A lot of people. That's why women were not allowed to even step foot in the pulpit for many years. And I was shot. So that was wrong because there's a lot of women out there who know way more than some of these preachers in the pulpit who are male.
So let me get this right. I want to make sure I get on to. You're saying once you become saved, filled with the Holy Spirit, you become a product of God, and therefore there's no male or female.
That passage that you're talking about and referring to is talking about people in heaven. Where and Christ was talking about that. He said that in heaven they're not married or given in marriage. There's not male or female. That's a passage and he's talking about after you die. And he's right about that, of course.
As far as character, as far as knowledge, and wisdom, and things of that nature, when you become one with God, I mean, I'm not saying a woman is no longer a woman, but if they're led more spiritually. When they become one with God, one with Christ, they are more spiritually led than fleshly led. That's why a lot of women were not allowed in the pulpit because it was the flesh of man that was keeping them out of the pulpit. And what I'm saying is that once you become saved, there's no longer, neither Greek nor Jew, neither bond nor free, neither male nor female. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the scriptures is plain to say.
Okay, so let me get this right. Now, right, but okay, so John just said, and he quoted scripture, and it said, when you get to heaven, there's neither male nor female, or bond nor free. So, but you seem to think that those attributes are come upon you when you get saved on earth?
Yes, because you become one with Christ. See, the thing is, people keep making these accusations like it's impossible. Let me give you an example. You can be one with God. You can be sinless for a few minutes a day. Like if you're praising and worshiping the Lord, or praying to the Lord, praying more for others than you do yourself, at that one particular time in your day, it might be 3 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, it might be 30 seconds. You could be without sin at that time. And the thing is, we're supposed to practice. And when we practice, the longer we can go, longer periods of time without committing sins. And when you get to a point where you're a laborer in the field where the harvest is plenty and the laborers are few, I mean, that person is laboring many days, many hours of the day. And they're being one with the Lord. They're doing God's will. And they're not out there committing sin. I mean, just like the scripture where it says, when you go visit the fatherless and the widows, to keep yourself spotless and wrinkle free, meaning you don't go in there to molest people or to sleep with the mother. You go there with a spotless spirit and a wrinkle free spirit, so you go there to help them and to serve them. You don't go there with ill thoughts. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. John?
Yes. Go ahead. Well, with regard to our topic, one of the places where it points out those that are going to be leaders in the church, it says, this is a faithful saying, if a man desires the position of a bishop, a leader, an elder in the church, it says and it calls him a bishop. Bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife. The husband, you can't be a husband if you're a woman. You're not supposed to be. I know we've changed
wasn't that for that office though? Wasn't that for that office?
Well, I'm just giving you the description of that office.
Right.
That is a man.
Bishop, yeah.
Yeah. Or a pastor. The words are used interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
The Apostle Paul was an evangelist. Never said he was a bishop.
So what's an evangelist?
Evangelist is somebody that preaches.
Don't bishops preach?
Yeah, they can preach too. Didn't say they couldn't. Just say, Paul, we don't have any indication at all in scriptures about his family. Seems like he was a bachelor, but no one can prove that as far as the Bible is concerned. So it talks about the leaders in the church being men and the women being leaders in the home and teachers of the children at home. That's what's given as responsibility and roles within the home, for Christian people.
All right, we got 1 more hour left. For those who agree or disagree, give us a call. 860-1440 is the number. You can text me 241-9998, and we'll see how this goes. We'll be back.
WSFA 12 news update on News
That is
Radio
what's so
1440.
interesting about any conversation about the Bible, because everybody thinks they're right. The Church of Latter-day Saints thinks that they're right.
Yeah,
Southern Baptists think they're right. Right, with me what they are. So
I know that.
So who's to know who's right?
The authority ultimately rests with the Bible.
Then that's and the Catholics say they gave us the Bible. They didn't give us the words, but they gave us they
tried to keep the Bible from us for as long as they could.
I can understand why now. Because we
Well, they did. They tried to do that, and you have to have it available to the people. And maybe that's one of the reasons we have so many different groups of people. I don't know, but I recognize that we're going to have differences in what people see in it. Yeah, our guy went third in the draft last night.
And who really cares?
I do. It's fun to have somebody that high. It's fun. You get a lot of notoriety.
So we live in a society that pays basketball players and football players millions of dollars, and people who toil the soil.
Rodriguez. The Supreme Court is expected to begin releasing opinions next hour as it winds down its current term.
To me, it don't take no intellect to play
Hear
basketball.
about several controversial issues.
The most anticipated cases ruling out
I don't think you've got to be as smart as Dr. Carson to play basketball.
Firing of a football coach who led his team in prayer. That's a First Amendment case. There could be a ruling on the Biden administration's attempt to end migrant protection protocols at the southern border, as well as the decision that limits the EPA's power in regulating environmental issues.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court struck down a New York law requiring gun owners to obtain permits to carry concealed weapons in public. After weeks of negotiating, the Senate passed a bipartisan gun bill last night.
The yeas are 65, the nays are 33. The motion to concur with the amendment is agreed to.
12 Republicans joined Democrats in approving the bill. CBS's Matt Piper.
The legislation expands background checks for people under 21 and provides money for states to enact red flag laws. It also deals with mental health by expanding community behavioral health clinics. And it helps states bolster mental health programs in schools and will provide more mental health consultations remotely.
Speaker Pelosi expects approval in the House today. It's been exactly 1 year since a condo tower near Miami collapsed, killing 98 people. Correspondent Manuel Borges is in Surfside.
Waking up to the building's rumbling, Angela grabbed Devin and believes to have run towards the unit's front door.
I went to vote the other day.
Floor split in half, causing them to fall more than 60 feet onto the debris. Devin's father would not survive.
I'm pretty sure.
This one had this new kind of ID now, Star ID.
Yeah.
Devin's injuries included a compound leg fracture.
It's fine that they have the
Has
ID.
come in the drive of returning to
I
the
don't know.
sport she loves,
Star
volleyball.
I guess it's got
Officials in
information,
Afghanistan say an aftershock
further
from
information on it
6.0
moving
earthquake
forward or
in
something. I don't
Paktika has killed at least 5 more people. A painting that's covered a wall in a California high school since the 1930s
No, I'm fine,
will
thank you.
stay. After all, here's CBS's Jim Krasula.
The San Francisco School Board has voted 4-3 to rescind a previous decision to cover up a George Washington campus mural that critics say is racist and degrading in its depiction of Black and Native American people. The vote followed a court lawsuit that the school board's original decision violated state law.
This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Fabric. Parents, cross off life insurance from your to-do list today with affordable term life insurance from Fabric. Apply now risk-free at meetfabric.com/future.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line.
So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
A new estimate on the value of COVID vaccines.
New research reveals nearly 20 million lives were saved in the year following the vaccination rollout. The study, based on data from 185 countries and territories, was published in the Lancet Infectious Diseases. Dr. Oliver Watson from Imperial College London says most of the deaths prevented were in high and middle income countries, which calls attention to the inequalities in vaccines.
There are many countries that still he's a computer engineer.
We must do better.
Works for a company in Huntsville.
Dr. Watson also stresses that
My
giving
daughter works
shots
for the
to as
Department of
many
Agriculture
arms
in
as
Mississippi.
possible worldwide could have limited the outbreak of new variants.
Well, so you had some influence there.
CBS News, London.
A surprise number one pick at this year's NBA draft.
The Orlando Magic agriculture degree.
Freshman Bancaro gives all the credit to Coach K.
Is it worth anything?
Deborah Rodriguez.
I guess if you're going to work in agriculture.
That 1 out of every 5 jobs in the country is an agricultural-related job. Yeah, it's the biggest industry in the country. I'll tell you this, like I said on John and Barry's show, if the automotive industry left today, left the state of Alabama, never to come back, it would be hard because it's very important, but we would survive. If the poultry industry, if the forestry industry left, we drive and blow away. It's much, much bigger than those two. It's just a fact.
I guess we just take it for granted.
We do take it for granted. It doesn't captivate people's attention. And it's cool to make cars. It's not cool to kill a chicken.
Ain't no shiny object.
No, and they're high dollar jobs, more so than poultry plants or cutting trees down. But you couldn't blow your nose if we didn't have the trees.
That's true. Why not? You couldn't do the paperwork unless you had the paper.
That's what my dad wanted me to do. He was in forestry. He wanted me to do that, but I wanted to teach. I love it.
Lord, that's hard work.
Oh, it is, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
8 hours a day, though.
Yeah.
Heavy tree. Hoping not to let one fall on you.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and now that part, the forestry is tough. I didn't like the dang red bugs eating you up and being out there with the snakes and the briars and all that stuff all the time. That's what I didn't enjoy.
Stop worrying about
I like teaching the kids better.
We can help you, we promise.
Then I taught some forestry too.
Well, I remember biology class and talking about taking that poor frog apart. It wasn't for me.
I think our organization does a better job of teaching people communications than anything there is out there. In fact, I met with Montgomery Academy and started an agriculture program there.
Wow, you would think they would have one.
Yeah, there's not a private school in the state that I'm aware of that has an agriculture program, and we're about to start. So I'd like to see, because a lot of the people there end up going into agricultural industries anyway.
Does Lee have one? An agriculture plan?
Now, the urban cities, schools in Montgomery don't have one now. Lanier used to have one. They went for a long time.
It's Dan Bongino. Every weekday from 2 till 5 p.m. Right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine. Of course, you ought to be up by now. I mean, that's just a given. You ought to be up by now. So I'm not even going to insult you by acting like you're not up by now, because everybody is up by now. 860-1440 is your number here. I guess John Colquitt is with us. John is a member of the FFA or whatever it is, the AFF. Or...
Not whatever it is. It is what it is.
Okay.
Can't help it if you can't remember the letters.
Yeah, right. The Future Farmers of America.
Yes.
Okay.
And a student organization in the state of Alabama.
And a former teacher.
Yes.
A sports
27 years.
A sports enthusiast.
That too. Yeah.
He's got that. He's one of them Auburn grads. I
was hosting down the hall a couple of weeks ago, or helping with it.
Yeah. Well, John needs help sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, our numbers are 860-1440. Before we get back, let me tell you about our show. This hour has been brought to you by JL Lane Truck and Auto. JL Lane Truck and Auto.com. 272-4313. Online, if you go to that website, you catch their online inventory. You will catch all kind of cars. Well, you won't catch them, but you'll be able to see all kind of cars. And don't worry about credit, anything like that. If your credit got a little hiccup on it, no big deal. They'll work with you because it's buy here, pay here. They're not going to go through Experian or whatever the name of those places are. They're going to look at you, sit down with you. You tell your story. They'll tell you what you need to do business with them. And you decide, okay, you guys sat down. You said, okay, we want to do business because I can handle that. Okay. The cars have been cleared of all known issues, and passed a rigorous inspection process. So if you're ready to ride, you want to turn those heels in for some wheels, go to 208 Gun Road, 208 Gun Road, or give them a call, 272-4313, and ask for Steve. But if you want to check out the cars before you get over there, you don't want to go there right now, go to jllanetruckandauto.com. And the and is A-N-D, auto.com. JL, all one word, jllanetruckandauto.com. I guess John Colquitt with us here. I'm clear the phone. There's one call. This guy's been waiting for 15 minutes, so we'll see what he got to say. Or woman, whoever it is. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, Miss Daisy.
Good morning.
And good morning to your guest. He sounds so much like one of our teachers we had in Fairfax. He sounds exactly like the math teacher, Mr. Groves.
I'm not smart enough to teach math. No, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to do two subjects. Okay. Well, first I want to make this statement. I do hear on your news about the young man that was killed.
Yes.
I called Channel 12 last night, and I was asked I was curious why it had not been publicized. So he said, well, we'll make sure I get it on the news. So I did hear that. But there's many reasons why I have to call. There's always a complaint about women being in a pulpit. Now, as you just stated, man did write the Bible. But who are we to believe?
But coming from my standpoint, I believe the Bible. I believe that it's accurate and right.
Okay. I just want to know the answer to how you felt about that.
Yeah, I believe it's inspired by God, and the more I studied it, Miss Daisy, the more that I became confident that it's correct.
Okay. So are you saying the same? Women should not be in pulpit.
Here's what I'm saying: the Bible lists the things as far as qualifications for leaders in the church. I'm just saying what it says, and you can make your own judgment about that. But it's pretty clear for a bishop, for a pastor. It says it's a man, the husband of one wife, temperate, sober-minded, of good behavior, hospitable. It says all of those characteristics that we'd like to have in anyone that's going to be a leader. The role for a woman in the Bible has been described as the teachers of one's at home. And in my estimation, one of the things I think we do is we don't place the importance on being a teacher of the children at home, because that's the most important classroom in the world, is in that home. Now, I'm convinced of that. Everyone is a teacher. A mom is always going to be a teacher, Miss Daisy. Absolutely. That's imperative that they do the job there, because that sets the tone for that child's life forever.
Well, my pastor preferred not women in our church.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has an opinion about it.
Sure.
I mean, it's not every, but so many. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good weekend.
Somebody sent me a text that the FFA keeps property taxes low, which is how, of course, we fund public education. What's your thought? Is there any truth to
what?
Well, it said FFA keeps property taxes low, which is how we fund public education.
Well, the acronym that I'm talking about, it stands for our student organization that has about 16,000 members in it. In the state of Alabama, we've got a couple of hundred teachers that have agricultural programs. They don't have anything to do with taxes.
Right, but let me answer maybe indirectly, because farms have to be done on land.
Sure.
Okay, and as long in the state of Alabama, if your piece of property is considered agricultural, I guess, then you don't pay the taxes that you would pay on it if it was.
Well, all land has property value placed on it, and that's how you pay your taxes.
But agricultural land is cheaper.
Well, it's according to where it is and how much value it has. But I mean, I don't know the point of that particular call or text. Wish they'd call in and maybe go a little further with what they're talking about, because I'm not sure the correlation there between the two. But our student organizations, I'm convinced, is the best one in the country. We help produce really, really good young people.
What is Alpha? Alpha is
the Farm Federation, Alabama's Farm Federation.
Okay, so
it's a group of farmers, dues-paying members that are a part of the Farm Federation.
So it's an insurance company.
One of the things they offer is insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Banded together to get cheaper insurance, better insurance for people that were on the farm, and then they, of course, made that available to everyone. And as a result, they did make it available and made a lot of money doing it, and a lot of different things that the Farm Federation is involved in.
Mm-hmm.
They're down there on the Southern Boulevard.
I mean,
Baptist Hospital.
Politically, they wield a big stick.
Yeah, they can, because they've got some influence. They have lobbyists that lobby on behalf of people in agriculture.
Mm-hmm. I know when I first got here, I didn't know what the Farmers Federation was. So I went down to get some insurance, and they wanted me to have a great big credit score. At the time I just got here, so I didn't have that, so I couldn't get insurance, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get insurance if I'm willing to pay the bill. But yeah, that's a whole different story. That's probably I don't know. John Coco is with us, a former teacher, and is that all you taught in school was agriculture?
Yeah, but I taught a lot of different courses in agriculture. I taught fish and wildlife management, I taught forestry, I taught agricultural leadership and communications, taught environmental science, taught a lot of different courses under that heading. Taught a lot of general ag classes, agricultural classes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I had an exploratory agricultural class that was for my middle school young people, and I talked about where food came from, its importance, the importance of our agricultural careers that are out there for our young people. So that's, in a nutshell, what I did.
Okay. Our main subject, at least for the last 20 minutes or so, has been women in leadership in the church. And of course, now there are those that say that when Timothy told a woman to sit down, whatever the case may be, that he was only talking, be quiet. He said she only had to be submissive to her husband and not the general. Not all men. All men did not have authority.
Yeah, she was supposed to be subject to her husband. Yes.
Okay. So that sit down.
It also says in the Bible that they're to be subject to one another too.
Right. So then
it goes both ways.
Okay. So that verse then had nothing to do with like having a boss at work that's a woman.
No.
Okay. So you don't have a problem with having
I've
a boss.
had several female bosses.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Principals and people like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Female principals, I think, is not that good. Not that good.
Now, why is that? Some of them are outstanding.
I said it went outstanding. The problem is in public schools.
Outstanding, and what difference does it make?
Because in public schools, most of the population that gives you trouble are males, are boys.
Why in the world do you say that?
Well, because it's true. They give most of the population in public school that give you trouble are males.
There's more problems with males than boys are more aggressive.
Exactly.
I always had two statements that I made. I said, and this was in jest, so don't go ballistic about this, but I always said that girls were mean and boys were stupid.
There's some truth to that.
There's some truth to that, because girls can be mean a little bit, but it's stupid stuff.
But it's the little girls that make the boys stupid.
Well, I don't.
Okay.
So blame it on the other one.
But here's the deal. You're 6 feet tall and you're in the 9th, 8th, 9th grade, and a woman that's 5'2", trying to reign over you.
I've seen some 5'2" women that can reign over almost anybody.
Well, I haven't.
Well,
I mean, I hear that all the time. I haven't. I've
seen some.
Okay, I just haven't seen that.
The most fearful teacher in our school.
Yeah.
Everybody was scared of Miss Pringle.
Yeah. Whoever.
And Miss Pringle was a little little short African American English teacher. She was bad to the bone.
But
And big old 6'2" football players were scared to death of her.
no, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
Oh, absolutely.
Come
they were.
on, man.
I'm
They
saying,
may have given her an abundance of respect.
let me tell you
but
something.
they wasn't afraid
That
of
was
her.
an incredible abundance of respect.
Right. But they wasn't afraid of her.
They didn't bother her.
But they respected her.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Right. And respect, of course, is what
They
you got to
looked-
get first.
They looked scared to me.
They wouldn't. I ain't never seen a young man scared of a 5'2"
Well, I
woman.
interviewed some of the people that had her in class. They'll tell you.
Well, they respect her because but we ain't scared of no 5'2" woman. Okay, we ain't
They
scared.
weren't worried about themselves physically at all.
Exactly. I'm just
I
saying
didn't say that.
But a man is an intimidating factor sometimes, whether he's short or not. He can be intimidating. He's more
Sure.
powerful, more boisterous, and his voice carries the weight of authority when he speaks. Well, females, we love you, but not so much. And that's what God made us. Now, he didn't make women to be men and men to be
I
women.
didn't. Yeah, certainly, I agree with that.
Okay, I'm
We're
just.
confused in the country right now about all that.
And,
but
and most of our
Should be.
schools, most of our public schools that are failing and go all down to 2, most of them are ran by women. I mean, it is what it is. And I got nothing against them, but a man is a authoritative figure. And if you don't have that authoritative figure, then you're going to lose some control.
that comes from your military background.
Well, whatever. We
A
had,
lot of influence in that. That
Well,
was fine.
I had a woman sergeant over me when I was in
Did
the
you?
military.
How did that go?
I gave her hell.
Did you?
I gave her
Did she give it to you?
No, not really. I gave her hell. But now I probably didn't make E6 because of it, because she put a bad report on her brother.
Really?
So whether or not I liked her or not, she still had the authority, and so brother had to suffer the consequence. But I gave her hell because she couldn't pick up nothing I could pick up. She couldn't do none of the stuff I could do. Yes, she's gonna tell me what to do. I think if you can do now, if you're a woman and you can do everything I can do, you get the utmost respect. If you can pick up 2 5-gallon cans of water or fuel and walk them as far as I walk them, we good. I respect, but don't have the same authority if you don't have the same responsibilities or the same abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my way of looking at it. So, and I've been wrong before, and I'll probably be wrong again.
Really?
Yeah. Don't happen too much, but every once in a while.
Okay.
Every once in a while it happens. 860-1440, gun control. Let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
The Supreme Court pretty much said yesterday, I'm pretty sure if I'm wrong, somebody's going to call me and tell me, that, you can have a gun. In New York, it's crazy. They will not let citizens there carry guns.
No.
I mean, that's crazy. So the police get to carry a gun
Yes.
to protect themselves.
Sure.
But as a citizen, you can't carry a gun, I guess, until yesterday to protect
The
yourself.
Supreme Court ruled on that, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a result, they'll be able to do that in the future, and I'm sure they're going ballistic about that.
They are.
Uh,
But the governor of New York, the woman, said, well, we're going to have more problems now. We just open up a can or whatever. But she hadn't noticed that we are already killing people in New York.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, with guns. Now, me personally, I don't think a civilian needs an AK-47. I just don't think you need one in your house. But that's me. I think there's some guns that are appropriate and some that are not appropriate for private use. There's some guns that are strictly used for war, to fight. But then again, I guess somebody's saying if you're outside my house trying to get in, it is war.
Yeah.
So minds, we can all disagree on that, but I just think there's some. I mean, you certainly don't need a bazooka. You don't need a flamethrower.
No.
In your house. But if somebody outside's got a flamethrower, well, you might as well have yours too, I guess. I don't know. It's just gun things, just getting out of control. Good morning, who's this?
Hi, Kevin. This is Nancy.
Hello,
I
Nancy.
haven't been able to listen to you lately, but more and more we're seeing ladies with children begging on the street. Do you have any information on that? Because my husband can't pass without giving him something. We saw with children out there the other day, and then we saw a lady out in the sun with no umbrella or no chair or anything.
Well, now, okay, I got some thoughts on that. I think the ladies with the children is a play on our heartstrings, okay? They know that most of us who have got any human being feelings in us, we don't want to pass up the children. And so we stop and give them some more of our money. And then when we're gone, they go get in their Mercedes. Okay. I guess each man just got to decide for his own self if he wants to give money. But they're using women just to manipulate us, our feelings, and our God-given obligation to help who we think are poor folks. So.
Well, is there anything Montgomery's doing about it? Because our great-grandchildren live outside of Huntsville, and you do not see beggars in Huntsville.
Well, the mayor seems to think that these are homeless people, and that the police have better things to do than harass them. I think a little bitty crime at some point will turn into a big one. And if you allow them to get away with this, then next thing you know, they'll be getting away with something else. And next thing you know, we'll look like some of the other cities in America. And so I listen, they got a program going on right now. They said they're going to put up billboards. They're going to have receptacles on Montgomery Street where you can give money. And our job from that point on will be to refer these people to these organizations that are set up to help them. Well, let's see how that works.
There are organizations that will help them.
Yeah. Well, Hope Inspired Ministries is one.
Yeah.
Told a guy last night, but you can't make them go over there.
No, you can't. And a lot of times they don't want to go if you offer that, because I used to work I was an inspector for service stations, so I saw that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of times they hang around service stations.
Yeah. But
and they would, I would offer them help, and they didn't want to go.
This woman thing with the babies, I think sometimes you just gotta keep driving, because they're being used. They're being used to manipulate us. That's all.
Yeah, we just wondered if there was something because you're not stopped there long enough to ask them or give them any information.
Mm-hmm.
They just walk back to your car and you hand them some money and they say, "God bless you."
Yeah.
And drive on. So it's a hard thing to pass them by, because you think, well, maybe they'd rather give too much than not anything at all. So
yeah, but the good Lord. Right, and I like to refer to where the Bible, where Jesus told the rich people, when you pull up your grapes, don't put the ones that fall on the ground, don't pick them up. Let the poor people have them. But he never said take them to them. So we all supposed to do something for what we get. And some of these people just that concept, they say God bless you, but what about the part where it says if a man don't work, you don't eat? So yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention anymore.
Can I share this?
Yeah.
I called in on your show a few years ago when I was doing the inspections for the service stations, and I told you this story. I remember this. You probably don't hear from so many people. Right across from the airport here in Montgomery, Chevron station over there,
mm-hmm.
A guy said, "Hey, bro, man," he came up to me and said, "Can you loan me some money?" And I said, "Well," what do you need for? We had a conversation, and he said he was going to pay me back.
Really?
And they always say they're going to pay you back. He took down my address, and many before had taken down their address. I was easy prey, I suppose, because I was there so long, and everyone would see me, and they would come up to me and ask me for help, and I've helped a lot of people. I wouldn't give them money. But this guy asked me for that. I gave it to him, and a couple of weeks later, money came in an envelope to my house. He paid me back. And I'd never had that happen before.
Well, right on. I like to meet him again.
I respected the man.
Yeah.
He did what he said he was going to do, and I respected that.
Wow.
And I'd give him money anytime.
That's rare.
I mean, really. I would.
That is certainly rare. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning, First Sergeant.
Good morning.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to go back to something you mentioned earlier about your superiority over women.
I didn't say I was superior. I didn't say I was superior. But physically we are. Physically we are. Oh yeah. If you're in the military and you got the same stripes I got and you can't do everything I do, right, you don't deserve my respect.
Intellectual person that she could write a 5-paragraph order to just perfectly. Could you do that?
You can't put down the enemy writing a piece of paper.
But somebody has executed. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Putting the value on physicality that she can't carry water jugs. But if she is a strategic person and she can write a 5-paragraph order, somebody's got to execute it, but somebody's
war is about power.
I like your point.
And it's about winning. It's about it takes power to do that. I'm with you. I get. Yeah. Well, again, if we are out in the boonies, okay, and I'm talking now when PAC, the PACs, you remember what the PACs do. What the PACs do, right? What the PACs do, I don't got anything to do. But if you out there in the bush with me as my supervisor, you need to be able to do what I do. Okay. No, well, but in that woods, in them boonies, in the woods, when we out there with the 5-gallon can, with all the stuff we got to do, putting up tents, that moment she a soldier. And if, right, but I'm. Wait a minute! I did say people. I did say women with. I did say women of the same rank. I wouldn't be doing that to anybody from West Point. Right. But wait a minute! I can't deal with officers. I mean, if she's from West Point, she's an officer. If she's from West Point, she's an officer. I'm not, but you got to be.
I'm more inclined to be with the caller here, to be honest, because I think the role should fit the person's personality.
Okay, Tom. Let me ask you a question. You on the E5 board, okay? You sitting there, and you got two people coming in front of you, two E4s, okay? Should they not be with the same MOS? Should they not be able to do the same thing? Really? Then let her do a different kind of job. Let her do a different kind of job. Well, we only got one gender now, so we don't have to worry about it. So we got one gender. Well, we did. We did have to do that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm there with you. Hey, Ms. Pringle could have run a school too.
Well, again, listen, you guys are talking
better than Kevin too.
Again, you guys are talking political correctness and theory. I'm talking about reality, and the reality is that if you're no good to me out in the boonies on a mission if you can't do your job. That's the reality of it all. Wait a minute. If I'm out there in the boonies doing my job, the execution is in place. And if you cannot do it, then you need to be back there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I won't know who wrote it. I ain't that high up the chain. Well, yeah. Well, so is the enemy. If he sees a weak link in the chain, that is where he's going to attack us. No. That's probably the one. Wait a minute. That's probably one of the exceptions I'll do. She can help me out with the team. Okay. All right. Listen, I didn't say we all have to agree with what I say. This is just me. I think you all should be this. If you hire two guys to own your farm, and one's a female, one's a male, and they got to push the plow. If she can't push the plow, she can't help you. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah.
We're a little beyond pushing a plow.
Well, I got that, boy. But it may come to that if no gas. We'll be back.
I saw this article. Friends posted, churches are closing at a record pace in the U.S. Less than 50% of the Americans say they are members of a church.
You know, I heard that the other day. That kind of bothers me. And more people are saying they don't believe in God.
Because we're becoming more secular by the day.
I find that to be, and God did make men and women differently. I don't know why that's a big deal than what I say. We're not the same.
No, we're not.
So why should we be expected to be the same? But if you're going to be in the military and you're going to get the same paycheck I'm getting for the same MOS. Now, if you're if you're an administrator, I don't expect you to get out there with me and push the big old trunks and do all the heavy stuff. Fine. But don't tell me you want my MOS specialty, but you can't do the job. I'm sorry. I don't play that. I don't respect anybody who can't do it. So, I don't. If you can't do it, get another job. Because all you're doing is holding me back. And then I end up doing her job and my job.
Waking up on the right side. This
now, don't get me wrong. Not the NCO Academy in Army. There were some women in a leadership course that made some of our men look weak, like I don't know what. They didn't respect them. I mean, we had a 90-degree angle here with a rucksack on our back.
This administration,
some of the men fell down. And I saw women just humping up that hill. When they came down that hill, they had my utmost respect. The guy.
So again, it goes to a simple question. For these climate alarmists,
where do you go to church?
Mother Earth.
Right now, I go to
comes from Russia, Iran, Venezuela, OPEC nations, Saudi
Morning.
Arabia. What difference does that make to Mother Earth where you
But I haven't
drill the
joined.
oil?
I don't know if you have to go to church. If you got some insurance, anybody will marry you.
It's the Sean Hannity Show.
Okay. I don't need.
The last time you
I don't know if
looked
corporate
like
church,
this,
but
the
I
dollar
think you need.
tanked
I think you
50%.
can sit at home and watch. You can sit at home and watch service all you want to. That's not like being.
While the U.S. economy collapsed and inflation ran
And a lot of our
the price of gold
people
shot
under
up
COVID
1,300%.
have gotten into the habit of
Silver
doing
rocketed
that.
over 2,400%.
Because
So
we
if
had so
history
many
repeats itself,
places where
we can see it
we
happen
weren't
again.
meeting.
Can you
And that's the
afford to
first
miss
thing they
what
tried
could
to
be the
shut down
biggest
with
gold and
churches.
silver boom
Although I only
of
go
all
It was
time?
harsh on churches.
That's
in
why I
Houston.
want you
I
to
only
call
go
gold
every other
at
Sunday because
855
after going to church for
815
60-something
Because
years,
when you do,
you pretty much
you'll not
heard all
only
the
get the
sermons.
chance to protect your retirement savings,
But I
So
will.
that's what
admit-
you should base it on.
but as a
Well,
Sean
I will
Hannity
admit that
listener,
sometimes you
could
can hear
get
the same sermon
$10,000
because you're in a
or more
different
in
place.
free silver
You hear
just for
different
doing
things
it.
that you
This
didn't
is a
hear.
rare
But
opportunity.
for the most part,
And
though,
that's
the
why I
Bible
want you
ain't
to
changed
call.
2,000 years.
Again, 855
Just saying.
815 GOLD.
And you know how you know we're going to talk about money when we get to church? Because you know what the sermon's
Don't
going to
miss
be?
out. Check them out today.
With a man robbed God.
Yeah.
And you know that somebody's going to be asking
The
you.
funniest thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Went to a predominantly black congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had the offering plate passed around, the minister got up there and said, "Y'all ain't gave enough this morning, so they passed it again." White churches wouldn't do that.
No.
Black churches would, and I think that's hilarious. And I love the idea of it.
But the Bible says the guy loves a cheerful giver. When you try to compel me to give you money, that just turns me off.
And there's some that'll send you a bill.
Yeah. Well, now,
Right.
okay. Now, I will say one thing.
What?
If you sign the church roster
Saying you were going to do it.
saying you're going to do it, and they put that budget, they predicate their budget on
Yeah.
what you going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that. Now, you may not get the money anyway, but send them a note.
Yeah.
They may have forgot.
A lot of people are playing online now.
I said churches are not about, it's Liberty Fellowship of Montana. Oh, okay.
For doctors' profiles,
Man, the time's going by too fast.
Yeah. Just gone by in a hurry. Killer wanted me to come and sit in down there for a couple of minutes before I left.
Oh,
So
I can make it without you.
you're going to be over with in a little bit anyway, aren't you?
Oh, that's a damn go up to 10.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I know you can make it without me.
Yeah.
How long you been doing it?
30 years.
Yeah.
It's been fun. When it stops being fun, I'm gone.
I'll tell you what, if you're gone, there won't be a radio personality on this station.
I've been trying to get people. That's why I want you to. I've been trying to get people, somebody to come up and Because we need a local. I mean, Blue Water is a good person, but we do need local people. I don't expect to get another black person to because most black folks don't think the way I do. It's difficult. That's good and bad. We need local people.
Yeah, we do need local people, and this place used to be full of people. And it's hard to find anybody now.
Radio just changed so much to now one guy you can hear in Alabama. You go to Montana, you hear the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, right after y'all, you got Rick and Bubba.
No, we're not Rick and Bubba anymore. We got Sean Hannity. No, this guy named another guy named Plant. Sean Hannity comes on and that's
he's on. He's on your station.
Yeah, he's on the station. We got rid of Rick and Bubba.
I like it. Well, that didn't make any sense.
It did. They ran across the hall.
More satisfied after making the switch too.
I like
it.
Now, I personally wanted to change my house.
Is double that of the
I wanted to compete directly with Blue Water.
Works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills.
Because the one
how do you get paid for it? Do you get your own sponsors? Or
no, I don't. But I'm giving them talent. They just pay me like a book. I ain't going out selling.
So if you're self-employed,
I mean, I do sell stuff.
Economy, but you just want to plan your
I don't want to like Morrison and them doing over there on Florida. They would
very, very smart.
pay for their hour.
Here's the number you need.
I figure if I got to pay for it, I ain't get good.
Bible. That's 855-51 Bible. 855-51.
We do need local state, and radio has changed. Oh, I've spent a couple of hours with Larry Stevens. That was interesting talking to him.
Yeah.
Depend on it. Long time.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now and take some of these calls right quick. For you guys behind. Yeah, that's old school now. Some of my audience tells me that stuff is too old. Okay, who's been waiting the longest? This guy right here. Good morning. You're on there. Yes.
Absolutely, that is 100% true.
And he offered, how much did he give?
I think I gave him $20, and he sent it back to me.
$20?
Yeah.
And, that's something I would have never did. I would have gave him maybe the money, but I would have told him no need to pay me back, and I most definitely wouldn't have gave him my home address.
Now that is something about it.
I wouldn't give it to anybody I didn't think I could whip.
Oh, okay.
I know. I know what you're saying, but look, I have my flaw, a good-hearted person, and I think I
don't want to get some of my friends
I didn't think about that.
Isn't that a great story, though?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's absolutely true. Right across the Chevron there, right across from the airport.
Yeah, I would give him money. I would say, no need to pay me back.
Yeah.
Well, now, see, here's the thing. He offered to pay me back in the beginning. He said, I'll pay you back. I said, well, okay. Do you think I was expecting it? Heck no.
Yeah.
It's the only time that happened.
I'll pay you back. Even people that I know, but even at that small amount of money, I'm like, no need to keep that. I want you to have that.
I just wanted to see what he would do.
Yeah.
And he did. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah, no. All right. Don't do that again, man. Yeah, because the next thing you know, the board brother be at your house. Good morning. Who's this?
Hi, Kevin.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give you a real world example now.
Okay.
Of the amount of intimidation that a 5'4" white woman inflicted on a black federal police officer to the extreme that he was armed, that he shot her in the neck to death, and he was so traumatized that he was not able to come and testify before the January 6th Commission.
Really? Oh, you talking about, yeah. Yeah, and he's going on, and I saw that. Yeah, right, yeah. And he yeah, well, I listened to him a couple of times, and that son of a gun didn't sound the least bit contrite about it. It was, a matter of fact, he was almost being braggadocious with it. You talking about the woman who got the Air Force lady?
The Air Force lady, the
Right.
110-pound lady comes through a window.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, no weapon. You know, listen. I can't. I understand in theory why he shot. He didn't know if she had anything or anything like that. I guess that's why you can't. I hate his attitude.
And he shot her because he feared for his life and the life of others.
Yeah. He hasn't been vilified either, has he?
No, not even.
He hasn't been raked through the media and that kind of thing like other situations have been.
Yeah. Well.
And the other Capitol police officers that testified, they had ladies come up, Capitol police officers, to testify before that committee about the fear they experienced, but they did not invite him up to talk about this experience at all.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Hey, appreciate it. 860-1440. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. Yes. Hey, Tony. My Lord, it's been years. Pretty good.
I don't take you as often as I used to when I used to go to work.
Yeah.
But I had a call about the fellow that was complaining about your opinion about women.
Yeah.
We've gone through this a number of times. But first of all, I love women. My mother was a woman.
Mine too. Mine was too. Yeah. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if he didn't like what you said, he's not accepting I don't like what I say. Because I don't like women being in combat. I don't like women being firemen on a fire truck. And I don't like women being patrol policemen. Now, they can work in the office, but did you ever see the show Cops?
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes.
Did you ever see a woman stop a car by themselves and ask the guy to get out? They're usually always overtaken by the man in the car. You know, they just aren't strong enough. And proving it is this thing with the swimming now. If the man goes up and spend out his swimming with women, the man wins. So, I mean, men are stronger than women. There's certain things that they're not capable of doing.
Absolutely true. Absolutely. That's why my man that's a man that's swimming against all the women. Matter of fact, I don't even know why they have the race. He's going to win anyway because he's a man. Yeah.
You know, a fireman has to carry a certain amount of weight to become a fireman. Now, I don't know if a woman who gets to be a fireman does the same thing, but she should be able to. She should be able to do everything that fireman could do because life depends on it.
Right. Now, I don't know if there's an exception or a lesser standard for women firemen than there is for males. So I don't really know if that. I thought they all had to do the same thing. Yeah. So I don't. So before I dog them, and then I have a fire at my house, they look at me and say, "Yeah, you want to see if I can pick you up?" So we don't want to take them off. So let me find out about that. 31. I know. Just think how old I am. Just think how old we are now. So.
Hey, my oldest one, Kevin, just turned 33.
Yeah. Well, you know. Really?
Oh yeah, I was born 1940. Me and Martin Luther King, January 15th.
How about that?
Outstanding. Well, listen, man, I am glad to hear from you. I got to tell you. So call more often just to know I know you're still around. Okay.
I really enjoy your show.
All right,
Good to
Tom.
have you on.
Thank you. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, Caleb just turned 33.
Huh?
Caleb just turned 33.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's older than your oldest one.
So he was born in 89.
89.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter's 30. The little one is 25.
Man, you getting old.
I ain't as old as you, though.
How old are you?
I'm 58.
Early, bro.
Yeah. Earlier than you did, I guess. So,
And to tell you the truth, there's some advantage to that. At least you're young enough to do something when they get old.
well, that's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Get them grown, get them going.
Mine are all on when Caleb had cancer, he came back and lived with me.
Yeah.
And it was tough. You know, I had a friend that they lost a child to cancer about a week ago, and I think, you know, unfortunately, mine's still around.
Man, I was feeling so bad about that. Because, you know, there are things that kids get, there's nothing we can do.
No,
there's nothing we can do.
I would much rather hear, John, you've got cancer than hear Caleb.
I think every father would. You know, I had my life, I did my thing. But it ain't nothing you do. God, that's a helpless feeling.
That is a helpless
when you can't do nothing. Even a headache, your child is sick, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you would give the world for just to take the pain away.
It scares you. It
Yeah.
does. Well, what we were talking about a while ago, one of the things about the guy, Tony was talking about the roles that women play, the different kinds of jobs and stuff. I think one of the inclinations we've been indoctrinated with as men is to be a protector of men. We don't like to see women doing dangerous things. It's just that. It's not that we think we're superior necessarily. It's just that I would want to see
physically we are.
Huh?
Physically we are.
Yeah,
Not at least I say 85 to 90% of the time we are. We're just,
Yeah.
it is, I mean,
Well,
we're
I've
just,
seen some women that can beat the daylight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're few and far between.
Yeah,
I
we-
think.
Being here with Just Blinds is proud. On behalf of the Myers family and our entire team here at Just Blinds, we want to sincerely thank you for selecting Just Blinds as the best, your #1 choice for blinds, shutters, and drapes in Central Alabama. Just Blinds has been delivering on our family's commitment to provide quality window treatments at affordable prices and to deliver the absolute best customer service before, during, and after the sale for over 35 years. Please visit us online at gojustblinds.com.
Shannon, how can you let the people in Montgomery know about what Daddy does? You mean tell people he's a foot doctor? Yeah, a podiatrist. There's gotta be a way to spread the word about the surgeries he does and stuff. You mean like bunions and hammer toes? Yeah, and treating heel pain, burning in the feet, and corns. Like that time that lady had fungus in her toenails and they started looking better? I just want people to know that my dad, Dr. Brian Kelly, can be seen without a referral and he accepts most insurances. You should probably give them the phone number. 265-7585. Yeah, 265-7585. I just said that. Well, let's say it again. 265-7585. Maybe we should tell them our offices are in Montgomery and Greenville. You just did. Like us on Facebook at Greenville Foot Care. And remember, happy feet start here.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes.
I've had a lot of great kids.
Here's the number you need, 855.
What I used to come do breakfast with John and Barry, and during FFA week, we would come down and bring them breakfast and talk about FFA, and the kids would. They talked about two of them, and one of them now has got her master's degree. She's a speech pathologist, and the other one's an FBI agent. They gave them an award from the FFA, so they remembered them. And when I tell them, yeah, she's one of them's an undercover FBI agent, I said, really? Yeah, in fact, that young lady had the highest GPA at UAB.
Join Sean Hannity
So,
Sundays.
that's for smart kids. I had kids with doctors and lawyers and pro athletes and everything.
News Radio 1440.
All righty. And good morning. Okay, you know, I know this is gonna sound dumb to regular people, because I'm not a regular person. So I have to think outside the box. But I just remembered something. I don't believe breaking out of jail should be a crime.
Breaking out of jail should be.
It should not be a crime.
Why should it not be a crime?
I'm glad you asked me that question.
Yeah,
Because to be free is a natural instinct.
it is.
And so when you put me behind a cage, it is my job to get the hell out of here. And I don't think it ought to be a
We
crime.
can't allow it to happen.
But again, it's a natural instinct. So why in the world you can't change nature? I mean, listen. I mean, you ought to catch me. I'll keep me from breaking out. But if I get out, I shouldn't get no extra time. I mean, I'm just doing what.
So what's the incentive to keep people in then?
Well, don't let them get out.
At all?
No, I mean, keep them in there, restrained with a better system. Because, I mean, I just don't think it ought to be against the law to break out of jail. I mean, hell, jail's not a great place.
No, it's not. But they were in there because they broke the law.
Maybe so, but it's still my job to get the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
That is a unique way of looking at it. I suppose
Well, it is. I'm just saying. Yeah. So
we don't have that many that escape. Most.
Yeah, they catch them.
It rarely.
But in Alabama prisons, you end up dying without a death sentence. So something's wrong with that balloon. Good morning. Who's this? Really?
Yes, and the reason why, like you said, it's another thing, and if I can find flaw in you and prison me and I can get away, that's on you, not me.
Yeah, I'm going. Oh, yeah. See, I knew I wasn't the only person that thought like that.
I mean, you have to catch them if you can, because
Sure.
they haven't served their sentence.
Sure, I'm with you. But because I broke out.
Can't make it a competition. Say, hey, if you can get out of here, we're just going to let you go and not worry about you anymore. That won't work either.
No, I didn't say you should be let free, but breaking out of jail out of confinement is a natural instinct. You ever put a cup on top of a roach? He spends the whole night going around and around and around and around trying to get the hell out of
You're
there.
a strange man. You know it.
Well, okay. One more thing. I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory that food actually communicates in the refrigerator. Okay.
Food communicates in the refrigerator.
I have a theory. Now, I'm not even joking about that. I believe that food I believe that all entities on Earth communicate.
So the premise, like the genesis of the Toy Story. Toys all talk to each other.
I think
communicate.
I think baloney talks to the
have adventures.
Bananas, and I think
baloney talks to bananas.
Listen, I think you don't think things just communicate. They got their own way. Now they're not sentient beings like we are.
I have to.
But I think they,
I do think this. It's never come to me before, and I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
I think we need to do an analysis psychologically of your brain just to see what's going on up there, because there's some interesting things. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I've not heard baloney talking to bananas.
Wait a minute.
Before.
Now think about this. You're in agriculture.
Yes.
You don't believe that the greens and the tomatoes out there growing communicate with one another?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay. So I need you to do put a tape recorder out there
Mm-hmm.
in the field, someplace only you know.
Now, I've heard there's sounds that come forth from them.
See? That's what I'm talking.
But that doesn't mean they're communicating.
What's the sound for?
Well, all I know is this: you can make a sound without doing any communication.
But everything communicates. I mean, everything communicates. And so, but when you hit the refrigerator, you open the door, the light comes on, it stops everything. So wait a minute. So here's what I decided to do.
I never saw this direction going
No.
the show this morning.
Wait. So here's what I decided to do.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to unscrew the light bulb in the refrigerator. Slip the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Because they won't know I'm there.
Okay.
Really? Because the light won't come on.
As a little boy, you had an incredible imagination.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. Okay. And one of these days, I'm going to be proven right. Now, let's take one last call, and we're going to call this a Friday. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Yes.
Okay. Hello, dear. I forgot your name.
John.
But somebody sits up there and talks about all these children in the school system that idiots, the call of dumb and stuff. I think he needs a comprehensive evaluation.
No, ma'am. I think Kevin does if he's going to. He thinks baloney talks to bananas.
I am for real.
He's serious.
Well, I think everything communicates. Okay, well, all right.
Bananas and bologna. I'm gonna remember that.
I mean, it ain't got to be the bananas. It could be the peanut butter.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
peanut butter and jelly.
That work together. I'm envisioning a banana and the bologna talking.
Okay, I'm just saying peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Well, they're mixed together sometimes.
You know, ice cubes and water. I think they, you know.
Ice cube is water.
Well, that's right, but it's a different form. Yeah, different form. But you know, and once it becomes a different form, it becomes its own entity.
You might make a movie about that.
Okay. So you guys think you
worked with Toy Story, didn't it?
Okay, well, you guys. Okay, I'm right. But one of these days, I may be long gone, but we're going to figure out that everything communicates in some kind of way. And I got to go, folks. Thanks, John, for coming up.
I enjoyed it very much.
All right.
Thank you for having me on.
This is WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday.
I got to figure out I'm right.
A child was shot and killed.
I think that's fascinating. That was the best thing you did on the show today. The banana and the bologna. I like that.
Okay, whatever.
I never thought about that. Do these things communicate with each other?
Because my mind is a little bit more superior than most people's mind.
Yeah, well, about superior, but I know that it's different.
Different. Okay, it's superior to different. Yeah, that's kind of a egotistical word.
Yes, it is.
A little different than other people's mind.
You know, a lot of the kids with Asperger's, they have a different kind of mind. Have you ever seen the movie by Temple Grandin? Temple Grandin. She had Asperger's, and she ended up being a professor at
I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are
Colorado State.
Okay.
And she did research on cattle. She got a degree in animal science.
Okay.
And she learned how to better design cattle pens. That's a fascinating movie. If you like that kind of thing, I promise you would enjoy it.
And it's called, what's the name of it?
Temple Grandin. I'll see you the lady's name. Because you can find it online, and it's a great movie. I used to show it to my kids in class with the way there. It's a great movie. Most of the kids liked it just because
customer satisfaction rate
they thought it was fascinating, and it was.
That of the typical health insurance plan. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love how they telehealth, huge nationwide PPO network.
I'm right about that.
Yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need.
Man, who uses Fox machine? And then some idiot who wants a voting age limit lowered to 16. We even at 20, some people are still stupid. So we actually want people 16 years old voting.
Another really hot day on the way today. Temperatures up around 101 degrees. It will be partly cloudy, and there will be a few isolated showers and storms, especially east of I-65 and south of I-85.
18 is bad enough.
So this evening, otherwise it's very
16.
I wouldn't worry about evening plans. Keep in mind an isolated shower storm is possible. Better chance of showers and storms Saturday, a 50% chance, highs as a result, 97, 96 on Sunday with a few isolated showers and storms.
Well, Facebook has made a couple things better.
Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
It's been getting crazy hot, especially with the humidity out
here. So you used to be a teacher.